Bai Luoyun's foundation was stronger than his opponent's. If they were in the water, the young man would have already been killed. After fighting with the opponent for a while, he used the water clan's swimming fish technique. He suddenly circled behind the opponent and stabbed him. Who else dares to fight with this prince? Bai Luoyun was in high spirits. He lifted the opponent's corpse and shouted, "Mutated race, don't be so arrogant. I'll fight you." A short but very strong man riding on a golden-horned beast charged out. This person's strength was stronger than the previous young man. He had reached the high level of the heavenly fish realm. He held a golden spear and stabbed out wildly. Rays of golden light that were hundreds of feet long shone on this side of the world. Bai Luoyun used the swimming fish technique again. He was like a swimming fish that shuttled back and forth, dodging the opponent's attack. The trident spear swung out like a huge wave, rushing towards the opponent's mount. The golden horned beast was not easy to deal with. Its golden horn released a golden blade to block Bai Luoyun's attack. Its master raised his spear and swept across. The two sides attacked together. It was impossible to guard against. Bai Luoyun was already prepared. He had already condensed a water droplet in his empty palm and smashed it towards them. The water droplet exploded, creating a deafening sound. Mist blocked everyone's vision. The predator riding the golden-horned beast quickly retreated. A golden armor appeared on his body, and he entered the strongest defense state. Bai Luoyun took advantage of this moment to activate his other pupil. He condensed a large amount of water Xian Qi and attacked again with the trident spear. It was as if 3 dragons were rushing towards the man and his mount. Roar! 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 The spear was like a dragon, full of fighting spirit. Bai Luoyun's series of attacks was beautiful. The predator riding the golden-horned beast could not resist and was killed by Bai Luoyun's attack. Bastard! The Hong Mo predator group cursed. Several people rushed to fight at the same time. Bai Luoyun held a water shield in one hand and a trident spear in the other. He shouted, "From today onwards, I will share the burden of the Lord. This prince, Bai Luoyun, will also be remembered by you. Kill!" Bai Luoyun charged over without the slightest fear, and he seemed like he was invincible against a myriad of enemies. Yang Wu smiled and said to himself, "That's more like it." Chapter 796. Bai Luoyun was covered in wounds, but Yang Wu still hadn't made a move. The people from Hong Mo couldn't sit still any longer. This alien was too ferocious. Even when he was surrounded, he still managed to kill 3 of them. This was a great loss. "You're all a bunch of trash. You're a disgrace to Hong Mo," a top-level heavenly fish realm expert charged out. He raised a large spear and stabbed it at Bai Luoyun's head. This throw was overbearing and powerful like a giant python. In an instant it was right in front of Bai Luoyun's head. Bai Luoyun barely managed to block it with his water shield. His body was thrown back and the water shield cracked. Blood splattered everywhere. "Am I going to lose just like that?" Bai Luoyun said unwillingly. "If you admit defeat now, I'll save you." Yang Wu's voice rang in Bai Luoyun's ears. When Bai Luoyun heard this, he seemed to have been injected with chicken blood. He took out an object and blew into it. Woo woo. A strange sound rang out. It seemed to have a hypnotic effect, making people dizzy. The murderous conch. This was one of the strange objects that Yang Wu had taken from the Black Water tribe. He couldn't use it, so he had given it to Bai Luoyun. The murderous conch's sound could attack one's soul. The heavenly fish realm expert charging over almost fell off his mount. "Kill!" Bai Luoyun seized this critical opportunity to counterattack. Just as Bai Luoyun was about to succeed, a small saint from Hong Mo stepped in. Not only did he save his fellow heavenly fish realm expert, but he also sent a palm strike at Bai Luoyun. This time, Bai Luoyun really didn't have the strength to fight back. Just as the palm was about to land on him, Yang Wu made his move. Yang Wu stood in front of Bai Luoyun and raised his hand to block the attack. He even pulled Bai Luoyun up and praised, Well done. Then, Bai Luoyun's body drew a beautiful parabola and landed on the warship. The minor Saint Raider didn't expect Yang Wu to be able to withstand his palm strike. He attacked again, and this time, he didn't show any mercy. Bursts of green light condensed into a powerful palm strike and slammed towards Yang Wu's chest. Yang Wu faced his opponent's palm and said, "Too slow." He nimbly dodged the opponent's attack and appeared beside the opponent. His elbow slammed into the opponent's face with great force. Bang! The little saint's face was smashed into smithereens. His facial bones were all broken. Blood gushed out from his mouth as he fell from the sky. This attack didn't just destroy his face, it also destroyed his soul. Hong Mo's people finally realized that the young man in front of them was the real deal. The Hong Mo leader shouted, "Form a formation and destroy them." The Hong Mo raiders spread out and formed a simple formation. They were ready to attack Yang Wu's group. Yang Wu wouldn't give them the chance to do so. He turned into a gust of wind and went straight for the strongest Hong Mo leader. "Boss, be careful," the leader's wife shouted. She quickly moved to block Yang Wu's attack. The leader's wife's attack missed. Yang Wu had changed his direction and attacked the people around them. Bang! Bang! Yang Wu's body was like the wind. Wherever he went, there was a dull thud. The heads fell to the ground like watermelons and exploded. These people didn't even know that they were killed by Yang Wu until the moment they died. Yang Wu's speed was too fast, making people unable to capture his figure. The Hong Mo people were so scared that they peed their pants. The Hong Mo leader was furious. He roared, "Spread out. I'll kill him." The Hong Mo leader bounced off his mount. His entire body emitted a thick fire aura. The halberd on his back flew out and went straight for Yang Wu. His attack was simple and domineering. Thick halberd shadows cut through the sky. Just as his attack was about to land on Yang Wu had already blocked in front of him with a Hong Mo raider in his hand. The Hong Mo leader's halberd pierced through his subordinate's body mercilessly and continued to attack Yang Wu. "You're indeed a savage." Yang Wu retreated and sighed. He didn't hold back anymore. He faced the Hong Mo leader head-on and punched. Straight fist against halberd light. Asterisk bang. Asterisk when the fist collided with the halberd light shattered like tofu. The Hong Mo leader glared angrily and continued to increase his strength. The snake halberd was still thrusting forward. He didn't believe that Yang Wu would dare to take his weapon head-on with his bare hands. He roared, "I'm going to break your hand." The snake halberd and Yang Wu's fist collided. The combat weapon and the fist of flesh collided fiercely. The crowd didn't see Yang Wu's arm exploding into a mist of blood. Instead, they saw their leader's snake halberd being bent out of shape. Their leader was forced to retreat quickly. He was no match for his opponent. The leader's wife charged out from the side. She was very smart. She directly threw out her hidden weapon. The darts that contained poison flew towards Yang Wu. These darts were fast and fierce. It was difficult to detect their existence. Even a peak minor saint would fall into their trap if they weren't careful. When these darts approached Yang Wu, they were deflected by Yang Wu's powerful aura. All of them lost their aim. They couldn't even scratch Yang Wu's skin. The leader's wife shouted, "What are you all waiting for? Hurry up and save the leader. Also, send a dozen brothers to kill the people on the battleship." The leader's wife was very calm. At this critical moment, she could still think of sending people to deal with the people on the battleship. She wanted to mess with Yang Wu's mind. She didn't know that the battleship was even more dangerous. When her people got close, they were all killed in an instant. White-Hair She-Devil rushed out from the battleship and shouted, "Lord, leave these people to me. You go back to the battleship and rest." White-Hair She-Devil had been recuperating since she was rescued by Yang Wu. Her injuries had already recovered. She was willing to follow Yang Wu. She really didn't want to see Yang Wu doing everything himself. Therefore, she took the initiative to fight. Following White-Hair She-Devil's attack, Hong Mo's people were scared out of their wits. Hong Mo's leader and his wife knew that they had kicked a steel plate this time. It was too late for them to escape. The two of them became Yang Wu's prisoners. The others were all killed. Yang Wu didn't have the slightest pity for these pirates. He didn't kill the two people in front of him because they weren't weak. It wasn't a bad idea to keep them as slaves temporarily. These two people were called Hong Mo and Hong Ying. They were a couple. The pirates that were killed just now were the pirates that they had gathered. Hong Mo and Hong Ying were very unyielding. After they were captured, they acted as if they were at the mercy of others. When Qing Feng released a little bit of demon saint aura, they were so scared that they trembled. They quickly knelt down and begged for mercy. Tell me about the situation here. Where is the nearest city with a spatial gate? Yang Wu asked them. My lord, we are in a barren land. Most of the people here are civilians living in the mountains. There aren't any big cities. We can only continue to the west. In about 5 days we will reach Beulah City. Only there will be a spatial gate. Hong Mo replied. 5 more days. Yang Wu sighed softly. Then he asked, Are there many pirates like you along the way? There are some. Is there a predator stronger than you? Yes, they are stronger than the two of us, and they have gathered more people. Through some questioning, Yang Wu learned that these pirates had been around for a long time. They were all refugees from the Tiansong border and Dali border. They were used to killing and robbing. They didn't like to do righteous things. They felt that plundering was their only way out. They were proud of it. Among them, there were a few marauding forces that were even stronger than the Red Devil. The strongest marauding force had half-saints. Yang Wu ordered Hong Mo and Hong Ying to go to the place where they lived. They had been plundering for many years and had accumulated a lot of wealth. Yang Wu wouldn't let it go. Yang Wu thought that the place where the marauders lived would be good, but he didn't expect to find himself in an ancient village. Simple houses were built on the mountainside, and many of the descendants of the marauders lived at the foot of the mountain, forming a bandit's nest. When Hong Mo and Hong Ying returned, the villagers cheered. First Master, Second Master, you are back. What good things did you bring back for us this time? Masters, where is my Dazi? Is he still out on a mission? Why didn't he come back with you? Oh, who is this young man? He is so handsome. Is he the Master's new little brother? Hey, there is also a flood dragon. It looks delicious. These villagers were very tough. No matter if they were adults or children, they all looked like bandits. Hong Mo and Hong Ying couldn't explain anything to them. They hurried to the house on the mountain with Yang Wu and took out a well-hidden box. The box was full of interspatial rings. There were at least 50 of them. Master, this is all we have, Hong Mo said with a long face. Are you sure? Yang Wu asked. Hong Mo nodded repeatedly and said, Yes. If we go against it, may the heavens punish us. Do you believe that I will slaughter everyone in this village? Yang Wu said coldly. Master, don't be angry. I have some more hidden. The first master doesn't know. Hong Ying nodded and quickly took out an identical box from another place and handed it to Yang Wu. Yang Wu glanced over and said, If you hand it over, perhaps I will consider leaving some for you. If you dare lie to this heavenly king again, I will kill you without mercy. Under Yang Wu's threat, 2 more boxes were taken out. There really isn't any left this time. Although we are the masters, we always share the spoils with the others, Hong Mo explained. Hong Ying nodded repeatedly and said, First Master is right. We can't take it all for ourselves. Yang Wu smiled faintly and said, I will reluctantly let you go. Then, he put away all the interspatial rings. Hong Mo and Hong Ying's hearts were bleeding. Everything they had accumulated over the years was gone. Next, teach me how to be a raider. Chapter 797. The Marauder was a character that made people feel hatred. In the sky above the barren lands of the Hidden Sky realm, there was a flood dragon warship with the flag of Hong Mo flying at high speed. Yang Wu never thought that he would become a raider one day. They had changed clothes and put on makeup in the village. His entire body exuded a bandit aura that was rarely seen. He looked at himself in the mirror and was very satisfied with his appearance. He rubbed his chin and muttered to himself, "Hee, this appearance is comparable to that wretched Jiang Ping." If the flower thief Jiang Ping heard this, he would definitely curse, "I'm not as unsophisticated as you." Now, Yang Wu's clothes were indeed unsophisticated. He wore simple hemp clothes with black strips tied around his body, revealing the double-edged three-dragon spear on his back. He looked like a hunter in the mountains, so unsophisticated that it was cute. Bai Luoyun also wore similar clothes. He felt uncomfortable and said, "Master, I have to wear this. It feels so ugly." Yang Wu looked at Bai Luoyun and laughed. "What ugly? This is called personality. Those raiders will call you Big Brother when they see you." Bai Luoyun said with a face full of doubt, "Is it really like that? If you don't believe me, you can ask Hong Mo and Hong Ying. Do they think so?" Yang Wu looked at the reserved Hong Mo and Hong Ying. Hong Mo and Hong Ying nodded and said, Yes, it's very unique. One look and you can tell that he's a raider." After they knew that there was a beast saint on Yang Wu's warship, they felt uncomfortable and didn't dare to have any thoughts of running away. Perhaps following this young master in front of them would be able to do great things. "All right, then I'll wear it like this," Bai Luoyun said obediently. He then asked, "Master, are we really going to plunder?" "Haha, of course. We're going to get rid of evil for the people," Yang Wu said with a smile. "Aren't you in a hurry?" "Don't worry, there's still time. It's not easy to be a raider." Yang Wu's purpose as a raider wasn't to rob innocent civilians. Instead, he was going to rob the raiders in this area and take more cultivation resources from them. Yang Wu's thoughts were quite beautiful. Robbing the raiders was a good thing for the people, and it was also a wonderful thing. Who would have thought that before they even encountered the aliens, they would run into a large group of a few hundred men. They came in warships, radiating a terrifying aura. One of them shouted, "Hong Mo's people. It took me a long time to find them. Let's destroy them and avenge our brothers." Yang Wu pointed at them excitedly and asked, "Are they raiders?" Once he was sure they were aliens, he didn't care how many there were. He'd kill them all first. Hong Mo looked embarrassed and said, "I don't think so." "What do you mean by don't think so? If they are, then they are. If they aren't, then they aren't." Yang Wu said loudly. Hong Ying said, "They're the people we robbed some time ago. We killed some of them, but some of them escaped. I think they're back for revenge." F***ck. I'm not going to take the blame for you. Yunqi, let's go. Yang Wu cursed and ordered Yunqi. The other party wasn't a raider, but an avenger. Yang Wu really had no reason to deal with them. They had only mistakenly thought that they were from the Red Fiends. In fact, they were also using the Red Fiend banner, and were planning to take advantage of the situation. The Jiao Dragon warship's speed increased, and they quickly evaded the enemy's pursuit. The enemy's army was strong and well-built. They were already prepared to annihilate Hong Mo. There were also peak miner saints among them. They quickly chased after Yang Wu's group. "People from Hong Mo, none of you can escape today." A peak miner saint quickly chased after them and shouted. Yang Wu could only reply, "We're not from Hong Mo. You don't have to chase us anymore." "Humph, do you think I'm blind? You're using the Hong Mo's name so obviously. If you're not from Hong Mo, then who is? Stop right now." The peak miner saint roared and slashed at the Jiao Dragon warship with a huge sword. A huge sword light that carried the power to split the heaven and earth opened a 10,000 zhang long scar, and arrived in front of the warship in an instant. Yang Wu stood at the back of the warship and faced the attack head-on. He took a horse stance, raised his abdomen, and punched out again. His movement was simple and beautiful, as if there was a wild beast floating in the air. Barbaric Dragon Fist. Roar. The fist energy was like a dragon, and its strength was shocking. Bang. The huge sword light was shattered by Yang Wu's punch. The sword chi spread out in all directions. The peak miner saint who was chasing after them was forced to retreat. His eyes were filled with shock. "Stop chasing, or I'll kill you all." Yang Wu stood against the wind and shouted at the enemy. "Stop pretending. I'll kill you all with my saint sword." As expected, the peak miner saint came prepared. He wasn't scared by Yang Wu. He took out a half-step saint sword and was ready to attack Yang Wu's group again. All of a sudden, a ray of green light came out of nowhere and brushed past the peak miner saint. He was sent flying like a cannonball, crashing into the battleship that his companions were on. The battleship was also sent flying backward, frightening the people on the battleship. Saint Realm. The peak miner saint who was sent flying back coughed out blood and said. The rest of the warships stopped at the same time and quickly turned around to flee. They didn't dare to stay any longer. Yang Wu looked at them disappearing in front of his eyes and couldn't help but sigh. "I told you not to chase after them, but you didn't listen. You don't listen to the advice of your elders. Now you're going to suffer losses. This bastard really knows how to pretend." Hong Mo and Hong Ying despised him in their hearts. After this incident, Yang Wu quickly took down the banner of Hong Mo. He didn't know how many people would come to seek revenge if he hung the banner of Hong Mo so blatantly. Plus, it would deter the other pirates from coming forward to plunder. That wouldn't be fun. Yang Wu was still a playful young man. After flying for half a day, the sky turned dark. The north wind was howling, and the roars of beasts were heard. It was chilling. At this time, a group of pirates finally attacked under the cover of the night. These pirates who dared to attack the warships were all led by Dragon Transformation Realm expert. Otherwise, they wouldn't have dared to attack so easily. Who didn't know that those who dared to travel on warships were the young masters of rich and powerful families? When these pirates were about to attack the warships, the leader saw Hong Mo and Hong Ying on the warships and quickly ordered, "Don't attack. It's Hong Mo and the others." Pirates didn't interfere with each other's business. They each cared for their own territory and rarely crossed the border. Conflicts between territories were rare. That was the rule. The pirate in front of them recognized Hong Mo and Hong Ying. They didn't have much of a relationship and were just acquaintances. However, Hong Mo and Hong Ying were stronger than him, so he didn't dare to attack casually. "So it's Master Chen," Hong Mo replied when he saw the newcomer. Chen Yidao was a fierce character among the pirates. Even though he was only a mid-level Dragon Transformation Realm cultivator, he could fight even a high-level one. "Where are the two of you going? Why didn't you hang up the flag?" "The flood almost reached the Dragon King Temple," Chen Yidao said. Hong Mo laughed dryly. "We're here to rob you." "You're here to rob me in my territory?" Chen Yidao asked. "That's right," Hong Mo replied. "So you're saying that Hong Mo wants to cross the line?" Chen Yidao asked with narrowed eyes. "That's not it. We're here to rob you," Hong Mo said with an embarrassed expression. "Who did you say we're robbing?" Chen Yidao wondered if he'd heard wrong. Without waiting for Hong Mo to respond, Yang Wu said impatiently, "Don't waste time with him. You two hurry up and rob them. Those who are Dragon Transformation Realm cultivators stay. Those who are willing to leave, let them leave. Those who aren't, kill them." "Master Chen, did you hear what our master said? We're here to rob you. Hand over your yin and yang rings. Those who are Dragon Transformation Realm cultivators stay. The rest of you can leave," Hong Mo said with a grin. "Madman, let's go." Chen Yidao vaguely sensed that something was wrong. He quickly retreated and called for his men to retreat. "Master Chen, you can't leave. Otherwise, we won't be able to report back to our superiors," Hong Mo said. He raised his snake-shaped halberd and charged out. Hong Ying didn't dare stay idle either. She charged out with her husband. "Damn it, Hong Mo, you guys are serious," Chen Yidao cursed. He raised his saber and charged toward Hong Mo. Chen Yidao's companions were all ruthless characters. They charged toward Hong Mo and Hong Ying together without fear of death. Chun Dao's men numbered about 100. Including him, there were a total of 5 who were Dragon Transformation Realm cultivators. The others were in the Heavenly Fish Realm and the Earth Sea Realm. Hong Mo and Hong Ying were more than enough to deal with them. Yang Wu sat at the edge of the warship. He crossed his legs and watched the battle leisurely. He couldn't help but take out a small bottle of wine and drink. This scene was truly joyful and leisurely. He treated the battle as a good show and enjoyed it. In less than an hour, more than half of Chun Dao's men were killed by Hong Ying. Those who weren't killed fled. Only Chun Dao and Hong Mo were left fighting fiercely. The 2 leaders of plundering were fighting fiercely. For a time, no one could do anything to the other. Yang Wu said to Bai Luoyun and Yang Zhenlong, "Did you see that? Those of lower realms aren't necessarily worse than those of higher realms. As long as you have a solid foundation and rich combat experience, you can defeat opponents of higher realms." "My lord, what do you think I'm not doing well enough?" Bai Luoyun asked humbly. "You're from the Water Clan. You're like a fish in water. In aerial combat, you don't have any confidence. In fact, even in aerial combat, you can absorb the ubiquitous water Xian Qi. Although it's not as good as in water, it's enough for you to display your combat strength. You still need to strengthen your confidence and cultivate your Xian formula. Without water, how can you create water? If you can solve this problem, you'll be like a fish in water in aerial combat." Yang Wu analyzed. "What about me, father?" Yang Zhenlong asked. Yang Wu knocked his head and said, "You're too lazy. If you increase your strength quickly, you'll be able to unleash greater combat strength." "Don't worry, father. I'll catch up to you soon." Chapter 798. Plundering and being plundered were 2 completely different things. Chun Dao had plundered many things in his life, but he hadn't expected to be plundered one day. When he embarked on the path of plundering like the other pirates, he'd already accepted life and death. He'd thought he'd meet a powerful enemy and be killed. He'd never imagined he'd be captured by his peers and become a target for plundering. His many years of hard work had been wiped out in an instant. His heart ached to the bone. Fortunately, his little life had been spared. The young man named Yang Wu looked very kind, and his words were pleasant to the ears. He didn't threaten him, only telling him to be his servant and listen to his orders. At first, he didn't understand the situation and wanted to curse out loud to vent his anger, but the seemingly harmless young man directly stripped him naked and tied him to the battleship. His dignity as a raider was swept to the ground, and he hurriedly knelt down and begged for mercy. Only then was he able to preserve his innocence. Only then did he realize this youth had an evil heart. He was a natural predator. After that, he witnessed several waves of pirates fall into the same predicament as him. His companions gradually grew in number. The Wolf Fang Marauders, the Flying Tiger Marauders, several powerful marauding teams were swept away without any suspense. During this time, the youth joined the fray. His explosive strength made others feel despair. His clean and efficient methods of killing were unstoppable. There was also the woman controlling the warship. She was just as monstrous. Her palms left no survivors. They were the true predators. Hong Mo, your strength is average. Didn't you say there were stronger pirates? The youth sat at the front of the warship, biting a stalk of dried grass. The Red Fiend had been surrendered earlier, and he was undoubtedly the head of the servants among the surrendered plunderers. Red Devil revealed a simple and honest expression and said, "My lord, they might have heard my lord's name and been scared into hiding. Don't flatter me. They're just like you. I'm disappointed." The youth's words pierced their hearts. A raider by the name of Wolf Fang stepped forward and said, "Master, if you want to find a stronger opponent to rob, I know a place to go. I just don't know if you dare." Lang Yu was a middle-aged man. He wore a wolf head hat and a string of wolf fangs around his neck. He wore a beast robe, revealing half of his shoulder. A middle-aged man wearing a tiger pelt asked, "Are you looking for that man-eating lunatic?" This man was called Flying Tiger, and he was the leader of the Flying Tiger Marauders. That's right. That cannibal lunatic possesses the strength of a half-saint, and he wholeheartedly wants to devour all of our marauding groups. Wolf Fang replied indifferently, and then he provoked Yang Wu. "Do you dare to provoke that fellow?" Both Lang Ye and Fei who were peak minor saints, but they were defeated by Yang Wu. The wounds on their bodies were still vivid in their minds. "What's there to be afraid of? Lead the way," Yang Wu replied. How could he not see that Wolf Fang was trying to provoke him? He wanted him to clash with the other party. When the time came, both of them would be injured, and they would be able to escape. "Then, Master, please listen to my instructions," Wolf Fang replied with a hint of pride. "Be careful of any trick." White-Hair Demoness transmitted her voice to Yang Wu. "Don't worry. It's time for them to learn how powerful I am," Yang Wu replied indifferently. He treated this as a form of cultivation. He would improve with every battle, but the improvement wasn't obvious. He needed to find stronger opponents to stimulate his combat strength to the limit. This was his way of training in the God of War Pagoda. He had to become stronger when he met stronger opponents. After flying for half a day, the battleship arrived at a lonely peak. This peak was surrounded by flat land. There were no mountains. It stood there like a sword, looking down on the mortal world like a proud and aloof peerless expert. When the battleship arrived at this place, a shocking sword ray pierced out from the lonely peak. A sword ray pierced through the sky, splitting the sky. The dense sword intent, overbearing sword chi, and powerful sword ray were the power of a half-step saint. Even a peak minor saint couldn't withstand it. The pirates on the battleship were shocked. They knew who the person on the lonely peak was. They couldn't even muster up the slightest bit of battle intent. White-Hair Demoness flew out from the battleship. She formed a seal with both of her hands and slapped at the sword ray. Asterisk bang. Asterisk the sword ray was blocked. White-Hair Demoness was pushed back dozens of feet, but she wasn't injured. After her soul essence was restored, she had completely recovered her peak strength. When she was in the City of Redemption, her combat strength was close to that of a half-step saint. Now, she wasn't afraid of facing a half-step saint. "You guys, why aren't you fighting? After I take him down, I'll settle the score with you guys." Yang Wu pointed at the pirates who were forced to surrender and scolded them. Yang Wu was counting on them to be his hired thugs. Now, it seemed that they were just a bunch of cowards. "My lord, he is the devouring devil sword Shirchuan. He has the strength of a half-step saint. He has always been a lone wolf. The places he has plundered have never been left alive. Rumor has it that this guy even eats people. You should be careful." Hong Ying couldn't help but remind. As soon as her words fell, a figure flew up like a sword. A sinister laugh was heard. "Haha, there are still people who dare to deliberately find trouble with this saint. This is really fun." As soon as the laughter stopped, sword chi overflowed. Numerous sword rays pierced towards the battleship like a net of swords. The strength of a half-step saint could borrow the strength of a strand of star runes. The combat strength wasn't as simple as just relying on the profound chi of heaven and earth. Yang Wu wanted to take action, but White-Hair Demoness responded, "My lord, leave this battle to me." She didn't wait for Yang Wu's agreement. She drew out a silver sword and fought with Shirchuan. White-Hair Demoness was a woman who could make the saintess of the Xing family jealous. Xing Sherman was jealous not only of her appearance, but also of her cultivation talent. If she hadn't been abandoned in Redemption City for so many years, she would have already broken through to the Star Rune realm. In the Battle of War God City, she was humiliated again. She swore that she would never let such a situation happen again. She didn't want this young man in front of her to risk his life for her. She wanted to protect him. Where did this woman come from? "I'll kill her with my sword," Shirchuan said coldly. The devouring devil sword in his hand slashed through the air. A 10,000 zhang sword ray instantly slashed towards white-haired demoness. The attack contained sword intent and had infinite power. White-haired demoness' silver hair scattered, the aura around her body rose little by little. Silver light enveloped her body, carrying a shocking battle intent as she slashed back. There was also a completely different kind of sword chi produced, that was demonic chi. She had been in Redemption City for many years. A large amount of demonic chi had accumulated in her body. Even though she had taken the soul-cleansing evil-suppressing pill given by Yang Wu and removed the demonic chi from her body, the demonic chi imprinted in her sword intent still existed. It became an offensive force that enhanced her battle strength. In the blink of an eye, countless beams of sword energy collided in the sky. Each beam contained enough power to destroy the heavens and earth. The pirates on the battleship paled. This level of combat power wasn't something they could contend with. They also realized that white-haired demoness battle strength wasn't inferior to a half-saint. Lang Ya's plan was doomed. "My lord, should we help?" Hong Mo took the initiative to ask Yang Wu. Only he and Hong Ying knew that Yang Wu had a Saint Realm expert hidden by his side. This was the reason why he took the initiative to curry favor with him. "No need. Leave this battle to her." Yang Wu waved his hand. He could sense white-haired demoness' determination to improve. He wouldn't compete with her for this battle. Sichuan's battle strength wasn't inferior to the demon face Yang Wu had dealt with before. He was even more difficult to deal with. His swordsmanship was extremely brilliant. The continuous sword shadows shrouded the world, cutting it into countless pieces. A devouring devil appeared vaguely, full of demonic aura. White-haired demoness' silver hair and sword shadows fluttered. Her sword intent was astonishing. The high-level swordsmanship she displayed closed the gap between her and her opponent. In the sky, there were waves of attacks entangled. Many sword auras kept colliding. Sword auras splashed, destroying the trees below. Sichuan's battle strength was stronger than white-haired demoness. She had many scratches on her body, and blood kept oozing out. Sichuan said proudly, "Being able to fight with me doesn't mean that you can defeat me. You're overestimating yourself." Suddenly, he turned into an afterimage and circled around to the side of the white-haired demoness. His long sword ruthlessly pierced towards her waist. White-haired demoness couldn't react in time. The long sword sank into her dragon scale armor and went straight into her body. Yang Wu almost couldn't help but attack. "Be careful." At the critical moment, white-haired demoness leaned forward. The long sword slashed past her side, cutting off a large piece of flesh. She didn't show any pain on her face. Her silver hair turned into thousands of sharp blades and flung toward Sichuan. This sudden attack almost bound Sichuan. He retreated very quickly. The long sword in his hand slashed repeatedly, peeling off white-haired demoness' silver hair. Then, he changed his position continuously, attacking from different directions. The power of the star pattern had greatly increased his battle strength. He didn't want to waste any more time. He must kill white-haired demoness immediately. White-haired demoness was forced to retreat again and again. More and more wounds appeared on her body. She couldn't resist Sichuan's fierce attacks. Just when Sichuan thought that he could win, the white-haired demoness seemed to have a battle rune appearing between her eyebrows. The power of heaven and earth changed. It seemed that the power of the stars outside the ninth heaven was being drawn over by her. Her strength increased rapidly, and her sword intent soared. She seemed to be possessed by a demon god, and there were shadows of demons appearing behind her. Her silver hair fluttered, and she raised her silver sword high. Suddenly, the world was covered in a curtain of light. No one could see the dazzling light. It was as if the night had suddenly returned to the day. Sichuan's eyes stung. He shouted, "Not good!" He quickly retreated and entered a defensive position. His sword continued to slash wildly, making it difficult for white-haired demoness to get close. He waited for the power of the white light to dissipate. However, How could white-haired demoness let go of such an opportunity? She turned into a beam of white light and swept past Shirchuan. She broke through Shirchuan's chaotic slashes and broke his defense. Her sword took his life. Ah! Chapter 799. Shirchuan wasn't killed, but one of his arms was cut off. White-haired demoness didn't have a good time either. Her stomach was cut open and her intestines were almost exposed. I'm going to kill you, woman! Shirchuan had been in this barren land for many years and had never met a worthy opponent. He was more terrifying than anyone. Today, he met a strong opponent and lost one of his arms, but he still didn't retreat. He roared and his whole body burst out with a more terrible murderous intent. The devouring demon shadow was completely revealed. Devouring demon sword. This was Shirchuan's sword skill. It had a crazy murderous intent and an evil aura. It could even devour living people. It was absolutely fearless. White-haired demoness' origin was also extraordinary. Her combat skills were stronger than Shirchuan's. Countless silver lights sprinkled from her body. The silver sword in her hand drew the power of the star runes she had just comprehended. The infinite silver light was still dazzling. She shouted, "Kill me!" The power of the silver light contained an evil aura. This was a mutated power. Its power was even more evil than Shirchuan's sword skill. Countless sword chi continued to entangle. Many sword shadows collided. The dragon scales on both sides were constantly cut open. A lot of blood kept splashing. The battle was incomparably fierce. The pirates on the warship were stunned. This battle was of great benefit to them. Perhaps it could help them go further in the future. The Battle of the Half-Step Saints affected the sky within 100 miles. Countless clouds were swept away by the sword chi. The warship retreated again and again. It even activated its defensive power. Yang Wu watched the battle calmly. He murmured in his heart, Yun Qi's combat talent is definitely not limited to this. She has been silent for too long. She needs to find her former fighting spirit. The battle lasted for more than half a day. After white-haired demoness displayed her silver hair talent, Shirchuan's battle strength was greatly reduced. She finally captured him. Ah! Shirchuan was choked by her silver hair. He was almost out of breath. Blood was still flowing from his body. His bones were exposed. It was a shocking scene. Bang! 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 White-haired demoness didn't have the slightest mercy. She dragged Shirchuan and smashed him towards the lonely peak. Shirchuan's body hit the peak, causing it to tremble. The physique of a semi-sage was strong enough. However, after their combat power was about to disappear, their defensive power would decrease. No one would be able to withstand such a furious attack. Shirchuan was beaten half to death by the white-haired demoness before being dragged onto the battleship. White-haired demoness didn't have it easy either. Her hair was disheveled, and her clothes were dyed white with blood. Her aura was weak, and her condition wasn't that good. Yang Wu looked at her with pity and said, "Take the 3 revolutions little mystery pill." White-haired demoness lightly nodded her head and ate the 3 revolutions profound pill that Yang Wu had given her. The 3 revolutions small mystery pill's medicinal efficacy was astonishing, and it quickly healed her injuries. Her breathing calmed down, and her consumed strength was quickly restored. The aliens on the battleship wanted to take the opportunity to escape, but they were immediately extinguished. The white-haired demoness battle prowess was too strong. After she recovered, who would be her match? Moreover, that ridiculously young lord had yet to make a move. He seemed to only have the strength of a top heavenly fish realm cultivator. If they really fought, none of them would be his opponent. He was definitely a peerless genius, or perhaps there was a mysterious and powerful soul attached to him that made him so abnormal. Yang Wu took off Shirchuan's yin and yang ring. He used his powerful spiritual force to attack it, and the restrictions on the yin and yang ring instantly disintegrated. After Shirchuan realized this, he wanted to die. "Your collection is really rich." After Yang Wu opened the yin and yang ring, he couldn't help but be overjoyed. This yin and yang ring was 100 square meters in size. It was stuffed full of things. In addition to most of the mysterious spirit stones, there were many high-level herbs, strange stones, and even high-level Xian arts, battle skills, and so on. There were also suspected sacred objects, and their value was extraordinary. The aliens on the battleship showed a look of envy. They had been plundering for many years, and their wealth couldn't compare to Sichuan's. Yang Wu looked down at Sichuan and said, "Do you want to live or die?" Sichuan ignored Yang Wu and closed his eyes, trying to recover from his injuries as soon as possible and escape. "Oh, pretending to be dead, right? Then I'll take away your soul and seal you so you can never be reincarnated," Yang Wu said lightly, and his fighting spirit emerged. The fighting spirit condensed and revealed its soul body. A powerful martial will swept across the battleship, frightening the aliens. They knelt down one by one and shouted in unison, "My lord is mighty!" Ordinary people couldn't separate their fighting spirit from their body. It could be done when one reached the dragon transformation realm, but there was no way to condense it like Yang Wu's. The pressure was so strong that it was close to the saint realm. Many of the aliens were afraid. If this fighting spirit suddenly rushed to their god's court, their souls would be unable to stop it. Such a young monster suppressed them to the point that they had no more disloyalty. Sichuan opened his eyes, and his soul flew out from between his eyebrows. He shouted, "Kill!" As a half-step saint, Sichuan's soul power was extraordinary. Although his body was crippled, his soul power was still strong. However, Sichuan's soul power couldn't be compared with that of the demon face. He was defeated by Yang Wu's fighting spirit in 2 or 3 moves. "Take away!" Yang Wu quickly captured Sichuan's soul and didn't let it return to his body. This meant that his body had lost its soul and was in a state of death. It would soon rot. "Please, please let me go." Sichuan's soul showed a look of horror. "You resisted just now and now you're begging for mercy. Don't you think it's too late?" Yang Wu smiled faintly. Then he took out a jade bottle and planned to seal Sichuan's soul in it. "Let me go, and I'll tell you a big secret," Sichuan said loudly. "What secret?" Yang Wu asked curiously. "Let my soul return to my body first, okay?" Sichuan begged. "No, I'll give you 30 breaths of time to tell me the secret. If it can interest me, I'll let you go. If the secret is worthless, you can die." Yang Wu showed no mercy. Being merciful to the enemy was being cruel to oneself. "I know a place where amazing inheritances are hidden. It may be the place where Buddha died, or it may be a sacred place," Sichuan said quickly. "You don't know where it is, let alone what it is. Is that a secret?" Yang Wu said with dissatisfaction. A blue flame quietly appeared on his finger. It was like a small black tortoise, ready to burn Sichuan's soul at any time. Sichuan said in horror, "Don't burn me. I know where it is, but it's dangerous. I can't break in alone, so I haven't succeeded. I can take you there immediately." "How do I know if you're lying to me? My life is in your hands. How would I dare lie to you?" "Well, I'll take a wisp of your soul source first and save it for you. If it's true, I'll return it to you," Yang Wu said and forcibly intercepted a wisp of Sichuan's soul force. Sichuan's soul was damaged. For him, breaking through to the star rune boundary was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. The surrounding pirates felt a chill in their hearts. They were afraid they would follow in Sichuan's footsteps. Yang Wu generously gave Sichuan a 3-revolution profound pill to help him recover quickly. The pirates saw the dying Sichuan bounce back from the brink of death and couldn't help but be interested in the pill in Yang Wu's hand. They were even more certain that this was a peerless genius from a great clan. Otherwise, where would such a heaven-defying pill come from? Sichuan recovered from his injuries in a short time, but his aura was still declining. He couldn't recover his half-saint demeanor in a short time. After all, he was missing an arm. Well, tell me where that place is, Yang Wu said to Shi Chuan. Shi Chuan knew his fate was difficult to change and could only accept it. He pointed in a direction and said, "It's in a canyon not far away." So close? Yang Wu was surprised. Otherwise, why would I be guarding here? There's an ancient array hidden there. I only found it by accident. With my strength, I can't break in. Without a Saint Array master here, I'm afraid there's no way in. Shi Chuan said. Let's go take a look first. Not far ahead, there was a canyon with a large river flowing east. From time to time, strange fish jumped out of the water. On both sides of the river, there were constant cries of ape. The battleship landed and everyone rushed out. Yang Wu put away the battleship and looked down at the place. All of a sudden, hundreds of ferocious birds flew out from the woods, heading straight for Yang Wu and the others. Yang Wu didn't need to take action. These vicious birds were killed by the raiders around him. There's a crack in the canyon wall. After passing through it, we'll arrive at the heavenly treasury. Shi Chuan pointed to an inconspicuous crack in the wall. Lead the way. Yang Wu didn't rush in foolishly. Shi Chuan had no choice but to descend towards that place. As he approached, he said, "There's a vicious ape guarding here. It's a half-saint. I'm not its opponent in my current state." This guy's thoughts weren't simple. If Yang Wu hadn't intercepted his soul source, he would have definitely been tricked. Sure enough, an ape's head emerged from the crack in the wall. Its fierce eyes looked at Yang Wu's group and roared, "Roar!" The sound was deafening, like the sound of Sanskrit. It went straight into everyone's soul, and they fell into a sluggish state. The vicious ape rushed out from the mountain wall. Its body wasn't very tall, but it flew like a meteor at an amazing speed. In an instant, it reached the height of Yang Wu's group and blasted a fierce fist. The earthy yellow fist power was like a huge mountain rock, crushing toward Yang Wu's group. The souls of everyone present were disturbed. Only Yang Wu was still clear-headed. He looked at the vicious ape with high fighting spirit and said, "Good opponent." Yang Wu rushed out and also condensed a barbaric fist toward the vicious ape. Barbaric elephant fist. A barbaric elephant stood in the air and a huge elephant leg fell down like a fist. The ground was about to collapse. Bang! The two fists collided like meteorites. The canyon wall shook and the river water exploded. Chapter 800. Shi Chuan was defeated by the white-haired she-devil. Although he was controlled by Yang Wu, in his opinion, the most powerful person in the warship was the white-haired she-devil. Shi Chuan had fought with it many times, but he couldn't do anything to it. Even if Yang Wu's fighting soul was powerful, his strength was only at the heavenly fish realm. How could he fight with the fierce ape? However, he was shocked after Yang Wu's powerful attack. When did the fighting strength of a heavenly fish realm expert become so abnormal? Could it be that this kid is hiding an old monster? Shi Chuan couldn't help but think a little too much. Yang Wu fought head-on with the fierce ape. He threw out barbarian fists one after another. Various different barbarian beast shadows appeared behind him. His strength was astonishing. Yang Wu had been in the God of War pagoda for 10 years. He had integrated the battle blood talent into his body all the time. As long as he fought, he could erupt with the strongest power. This had a lot to do with his extreme chi circulation. The strength of his barbarian god arm had been excavated to the limit. He was like a battle maniac, a young god of war. It was very unfathomable. The fierce ape was already at the level of a half-step saint. Its eyes were red with anger. It was ferocious and powerful. Under the continuous bombardment, Yang Wu was beaten back. The fierce ape's physical strength was abnormal. Every punch was enough to destroy a mountain. The power contained in its every move could crush any peak minor saint. Fierce astral earth cage. Suddenly, a terrifying earthy yellow force formed a huge chi field, enveloping Yang Wu. The earth cage was filled with earth blades, constantly attacking Yang Wu. This was the innate power of the fierce ape. It didn't have the patience to be entangled with Yang Wu. It wanted to get rid of Yang Wu as soon as possible. The 8 trigrams battle armor appeared on Yang Wu's body. This was the Black Tortoise battle armor. It had a strong defensive power. Most of the fierce ape's power was neutralized by the 8 trigrams battle armor. The remaining power fell on the battle armor and broke it. This big guy is too strong. I have to go all out, Yang Wu said in his heart. He finally used his self-created martial god's fist. The martial god's fist was named by one of his ancestors, the martial god. This fist technique was a fusion of the Black Tortoise Tyrant Fist, true explanation of barbaric fist, and various other fist technique. This fist technique was most suitable for him to use. The martial god's will became stronger the opponent, and it was in a state of invincibility. After Yang Wu struck out with the martial god fist, he entered his own world of will. This was a kind of extreme martial arts will. After entering this sort of martial arts will, no matter what opponent he encountered, he would use all of his strength to fight until the end. He would do his best to break through his own limits and defeat any opponent. It was because of this martial intent that he was able to defeat other opponents of the same level in the God of War Pagoda. Fight! Yang Wu's battle prowess was constantly rising. He roared, and every punch contained the Jinwu boxing. The water power of the river was absorbed and soared into the sky, forming the appearance of a black tortoise. It fiercely collided with the ferocious ape again. Bang! Bang! Fists collided with flesh, and a series of muffled sounds rang out incessantly. The canyon trembled, and many rocks rolled down from the cliffs. The trees and weeds were crushed into dregs. Not far away, the pirates who were watching were stunned. They knew that Yang Wu's battle strength was very strong, but they didn't know it was to this extent. He could even fight a half-sage. My lord is so strong, Honging stammered. No wonder he dares to walk in the desolate area. Whoever meets him is unlucky. Lang Yi sighed. He had wanted to teach Yang Wu a lesson. Now, he knew that Yang Wu had enough confidence to ignore his little trick. Such a lord is worth following, Fei Hu murmured. Shi Chuan's face darkened and he didn't speak. His eyes were filled with complex emotions. He couldn't wait for Yang Wu to die. However, Yang Wu's strength was beyond his expectations. It would be even more difficult for him to get rid of Yang Wu's control. When Yang Wu was at the intermediate heavenly fish realm, he had dug out the limits of the heavenly fish realm. At that time, he could fight a fierce battle with the face beast. When he reached the top heavenly fish realm, his strength increased by 2 small realms. His battle strength increased greatly again, giving him the power to challenge a half-sage. Barbaric fist, chaotic fist, Jinwu fist. Yang Wu threw out 3 punches in a row. Shadows of black tortoise, savage beasts, and other battle auras kept appearing. They collided with the fierce ape again and again. They were evenly matched. Bang! The fierce ape roared again and again. A strange sound came out of its mouth. It seemed to come from the ancient Sanskrit sound. It was like the morning bell and evening drum, shaking people's souls. This was the sound it had just roared. This time, the roar was stronger than before. Yang Wu only felt that an ancient swastika character had broken into his divine court and wanted to suppress his soul. What kind of power is this? Why does it have a kind of Buddha nature? Yang Wu thought. His fighting soul stood upright and waved at the Sanskrit word. Bang! The ancient sounds that broke in were shattered by his fighting soul one by one. They didn't cause any harm to him. You're really strong. If you were a spirit demon, I would have taken you as my mount, Yang Wu shouted in surprise. When the fierce ape saw that Yang Wu wasn't disturbed and was still attacking it, it gave up on roaring. Once again, it displayed its unique offensive talent. It stretched out its arms and formed a hug. The fierce energy squeezed toward Yang Wu crazily. 2 huge mountains crashed toward Yang Wu. Fierce mountain smash. The fierce ape unleashed its full strength, creating a terrifying force that was enough to crush any opponent below the half-saint level. Such violent power had once made Sichuan suffer a lot. After Yang Wu felt the fierce ape's powerful force, he once again recalled the scene of fighting with the young martial gods in the God of War pagoda. Their attacks had made him feel desperate. The more desperate it was, the more he gritted his teeth and persevered. Only in this way could he stimulate the strength of every part of his body to the extreme and completely draw out the energy in his dantian. Kill! Yang Wu shouted. The thousands of holes in his dantian erupted. The dragonfish breathed in and out. Pure energy rushed out of his meridians. His meridians were like the waves of a river. His acupoints were like stars twinkling. The strength in his limbs and bones was squeezed out. The limit of his willpower showed an invincible state. He punched out with the martial god's fist. An indomitable aura collided with the power of the mountains. Boom! Boom! The space was shaking. The river under the canyon was surging and the rocks on the left and right were exploding. This was a battle between half-saints. Yang Wu's head was smashed by the two mountains. The fierce ape was also hit by Yang Wu and fell into the river. Blood flowed out. Yang Wu didn't care about his injuries. He flashed his ice blade wings and swooped down towards the river. The fierce ape rushed out of the water. The two powerhouses collided once again. The river water gave rise to thousands of waves. Yang Wu entered the water. He stepped on the surface of the water. Water xian qi unceasingly gathered on his body. He seemed to have turned into a dragon turtle. He waved his arms. One of them was a fist, while the other one was a palm. He punched out at the same time. Dragon Turtle Sea Turning Technique. This was no longer a simple Dragon Turtle Sea Turning technique. It was a technique that was combined with Black Tortoise's power. It was a technique that erupted to the limit. The water of the river seemed to have been transferred. The dragon turtle carried a torrential power and fiercely collided with the fierce ape. The fierce ape wasn't afraid at all. It also rushed over like a mountain. Its shoulder was surging with an incomparably heavy power. The power of the earth xian qi unceasingly superimposed. It formed an invincible power. Even if the mountain was hit by it, it would be turned into ashes. Fierce ape hits the mountain. The fierce ape crashed into the river. The power of the river water unceasingly scattered. It was still moving forward, as if there was no obstacle that could stop its power. Yang Wu didn't retreat. His eyes were wide open. He urged the 9 profound arts to the limit. The innate xian qi strengthened his body, the frost spring xian qi gathered the qi of extreme cold, and the blood fiend xian qi increased the blood fiend xian qi. The 3 types of xian qi were madly supporting him. The power of his physical body also erupted to the limit. The power of the sea-turning technique was earth-shattering. The 2 forces exploded wave after wave. The power of the river rushed into the air. The 2 sides of the gorge seemed to be on the verge of collapsing. Fortunately, there was an indescribable power, so it didn't really collapse. Yang Wu was sent flying and embedded into the rock wall. The bones in his chest were all broken. His body was dyed red with blood. His strength was completely drained. He was in an extremely bad state. The fierce ape wasn't any better. It was sent flying by the river. Its whole body seemed to have fallen apart. It couldn't muster up any fighting strength. It could only reluctantly float away with the wave. The white-haired she-devil was worried about Yang Wu. She quickly darted towards Yang Wu's position. The other raiders exchanged glances. Some of them wanted to take the chance to escape. Everyone, what are you waiting for? Are you really going to become their cannon fodder? Wolf Fong cried out in surprise. In the next instant, he quickly left the warship with 2 of his close friends. Yang Wu and the white-haired she-devil were the 2 strongest people on the warship. Without them on the warship, Bai Luoyun and Yang Zhenlong couldn't hold the fort. Blue Phoenix was nowhere to be found. Wolf Fong wanted to escape. Since this was a good chance, he naturally wouldn't let it go. Wolf Fong was a peak small saint. He was extremely fast. Before Bai Luoyun could launch the warship's attack, Wolf Fang had already appeared 10,000 feet away. His two companions followed closely behind. The other raiders on the warship were tempted. In the moment they hesitated, they saved themselves. A shocking green palm descended from the sky, slapping towards Wolf Fang and his companions. The palm's power fell slowly. Wolf Fang and his companions could clearly feel its existence. Their faces were filled with extreme shock as they cried out in surprise. Holy power! Don't kill me. I'm willing to go back. Damn it. Why is holy power descending? This can't be real. It's over. Is this Yang Wu's hidden trump card? I don't want to run anymore. Is it too late? Bang. Blood splattered everywhere. Chapter 801. Water was flowing and blood was floating in the air. As the cold wind blew, the pirates on the warship felt an inexplicable chill. A peak miner saint was killed in one move. Only a saint could do that. Where did this saint come from? No one on the scene was a fool. How could a peerless genius like Yang Wu not have a Tao protector? It was impossible for white-haired Demoness to be alone. Perhaps she was just an ordinary servant. There must be a saint secretly protecting her. That was the reason why she dared to provoke all the pirates. Gulp Fei who swallowed his saliva. His soft voice clearly fell into everyone's ears, waking them up from their stupor. Quick, go and protect Master! Fei Hu exclaimed and flew towards Yang Wu's position. The others didn't dare to stay idle. They quickly rushed towards Yang Wu's position as if they were loyal protectors of Yang Wu. Bai Luoyun smiled faintly and said, I thought they weren't afraid of death. It seems like they are just SOSO. Yang Jinlong said, I also want to become a saint. Then work hard together with Uncle. Bai Luoyun said from the side. I will surpass you first. Maybe in your next life. How can I be surpassed by you? Yang Wu was injured. White-haired Demoness protected him and didn't bring him out. She knew that he would recover soon. Those pirates were just putting up a show. They didn't need to protect Yang Wu. The ferocious ape was severely injured. It would be impossible for it to return in a short time. Yang Wu circulated the Supreme Nine Mysteries formula. A large amount of Xian Qi of heaven and earth gathered towards him. His devouring speed was too fast. The Xian Qi of heaven and earth within a radius of a few miles was devoured by him. It gave everyone a fright. Even a half-step saint wouldn't be able to absorb energy with such speed. No wonder Yang Wu had the battle prowess of a half-step saint. His foundation wasn't just for show. After the Xian Qi of heaven and earth entered his body, it began to fill up the emptiness in his dantian. His condition gradually improved. About an hour later, he had recovered 30% of his strength, and his injuries were completely healed. He walked out from the rock wall, his face still extremely pale. He raised his head to look at white-haired Demoness and said, All right, I'm fine. You all can go back. I'll fight in the future. White-haired Demoness said with heartache. Yang Wu shook his head and said, I'll take care of my battles. Pausing for a moment, he smiled and said, Don't worry, I'm afraid it won't be possible to have peace in the future. On the path of cultivation, if you don't advance, you'll fall behind. You'll have to fight against the heavens. Every time you grow, there will be different opponents. You can forget about having a smooth journey. Yang Wu looked at Shi Chuan and said, Lead the way. Shi Chuan didn't dare to have any thoughts and obediently rushed towards the crack. He was also frightened by the power of the holy aura. There were many cracks in the canyon. In this kind of place, vicious creatures and poisonous insects liked to stay. No one would pay special attention to one of the cracks. Shi Chuan also accidentally discovered that this crack was different from the others. When Shi Chuan led Yang Wu and the others to the designated crack, no one could see anything unusual. Shi Chuan said, The hidden ground is inside, and there's a powerful array protecting it. I can't break it. Yang Wu looked at the crack and saw that it was dark inside. He could vaguely see some weeds growing inside. He also saw some traces left by the fierce ape. He hesitated for a moment and opened his soul eye. His soul eye could see through the void, and everything inside the crack was clearly seen by him. The crevice was very deep, reaching hundreds of feet. There were 3 high-grade earth xianqi herbs and some rare stone materials. The value of all of them had reached the level of minor saint. There were indeed formation patterns at the end of the crevice. They were hidden very deeply, crisscrossing each other like a sealed space door. There were also some restrictive forces in front of the door. Once touched, these restrictive forces would release a powerful killing force to strangle the intruder. The fierce ape was able to guard this place and didn't break into the restricted area. Obviously, it instinctively knew that this place was very dangerous, or it had already known its mission. It guarded this place and didn't let other creatures invade. The people around looked at Yang Wu's soul eye with shock. Every kind of pupil talent contained extraordinary power. This should be one of Yang Wu's hidden talents. It was enough to deter them. Can you see the situation? Shi Chuan asked nervously. He had discovered this place for some time, but he hadn't been able to enter it. He was more concerned about the situation inside than anyone else. In the hidden sky realm, there was an ancient race. They were called Tibetans. Everyone was born in the hidden sky cave. After they died, they would be buried in the hidden sky cave. Those with astonishing origins or noble status would choose to be buried in the hidden sky cave. The so-called hidden sky cave was to hide the coffin on top of a high mountain and suspended in mid-air. It was called the sky burial tomb. The Tibetans also called it the land of hidden sky. Shi Chuan understood the situation of the Tibetan people. He believed that this hidden heaven realm belonged to a hidden heaven realm. Moreover, this hidden heaven realm was protected by a formation. There must be a great opportunity inside. No matter what era the hidden heaven realm was passed down from, there would be a large number of funerary objects or some ancient inheritance. Yang Wu replied, "There is indeed a formation. It's very complicated. If you want to break it, it will inevitably cause a great commotion. Maybe you will be killed instead." "Is there no way to break it?" Shi Chuan asked again. "Since we've discovered it, how can we not break it?" Yang Wu smiled faintly. Then he turned to look at the absorbed raiders and said, "I know that you are not loyal to me, and I don't mean to make you all loyal to me. After a while, when I finish my business, I will naturally give you back your freedom. The premise is that you work for me honestly during this time. Otherwise, Wolf Fong and the others will end up like them. Do you understand?" "Understood," the raiders said in unison. There was a saint secretly watching their every move. How could they dare to say no? "Good. Next, come with me and take a look," Yang Wu said with satisfaction. Yang Wu put away the warship and asked Bai Luoyun and Yang Zhenlong to stay. He also asked Qing Feng to seal the aura of this place. When he broke the formation, it would cause a commotion. He was afraid that it would attract unnecessary trouble. The space between the crevice was not small. It was a long crack that could allow dozens of people to enter at the same time. Yang Wu ordered the 2 raiders to scout the way ahead. Although he had already seen the situation inside, it was better to be careful. Both of them were minor saints. They didn't dare to be careless. They walked forward cautiously, fearing that they would trigger the power of the formation. Yang Wu was not simply sending them to their death. He explained the general situation behind them. Soon, they reached the depths and saw a few herbs. This was yellow zuansan. It was an earth xianqi herb. It was a minor saint herb. There were also a few pieces of yellow vein stone. It was an excellent material for refining minor saint weapons. The raiders' greedy eyes flashed, but they quickly restrained themselves. They were no longer the leaders of the raiders. They were the subordinates of someone else. These things had to be respected. The 2 raiders carefully took these things and said to Yang Wu, "My lord, these are for you." Yang Wu nodded and took these things without hesitation. He said, "Don't go any further. The formation is 15 feet in front of you. If you touch it, you will die. I'm afraid this is a saint-level formation. Without a saint array master, it won't be easy to break it." Shi Chuan said. Yang Wu said, "You're right. There are no saint array masters. But I still want to try to break this formation." "My lord, you can't." White Hair She-Devil said nervously. "It's okay," Yang Wu said firmly. His soul I could see every formation pattern of the formation, including the power of the restriction here. He could see it clearly. He was confident that he could break the formation. Yang Wu did as he said. He took a few steps forward and opened his soul eye again. He carefully looked at the formation and restriction here. The power of the crisscrossing formation pattern fell into his eyes. Hundreds and thousands of formation patterns gave him a headache. He also felt a little dizzy. Where to break the formation was a big problem. Yang Wu quickly found the formation core here. If he broke the formation core, the formation would naturally lose its effect. This formation was a chain formation. If the method to break it was wrong and the formation was triggered, the person breaking the formation would fall into a state of eternal damnation. Many of the raiders were extremely nervous. They wanted Yang Wu to break the formation, but they were also afraid that Yang Wu would trigger the formation and bury them here. Yang Wu recalled the time when his great-grandmother had saved Yang Taihe. She had used the restrictions and formations he had seen to break them one by one. She had helped him gain some benefits. The weakest formation core has the most formation patterns crisscrossing. The strongest formation core has the least formation patterns. These 2 points are the most dangerous. First, I'll break the formation core at the edge. Then, I'll break the rest of the formation. Yang Wu thought to himself. He took out the double-edged three-dragon spear and stabbed in a direction. Bang! The double-edged three-dragon spear stabbed into the ground. In an instant, many restriction powers bound it. The restriction power was triggered. Everyone was shocked. Only Yang Wu didn't show any emotion. He took out the cloudy heaven sword and stabbed in another direction. Bang! Another muffled sound rang out. The power of several restrictive spells was cut off, and their power dimmed. Yang Wu seized the opportunity. He shouted, "Break for me!" His soul eye saw many restriction powers. His sword slashed at the weak points, stopping the restriction power from operating. The restriction power was very strong. When Yang Wu broke the formation, he was hit by a strong backlash. His body slammed heavily into the rock wall. Everyone was shocked again. Yunqi, break the Qian position. Devouring Creek, break the Kuan position. Flying Tiger, break the Zhen position. Quick! Yang Wu ordered everyone. The long sword in his hand pointed in different directions. He pointed out the weak points of the formation core to the others. The few people reacted quickly. They took out their weapons and attacked the positions pointed out by Yang Wu. Several forces turned into rainbows and landed in different positions. Bang! Bang! Chapter 802. Between the cracks, the array eye continued to explode, and the runes disintegrated. The power of the explosion was limited, so it didn't hurt anyone present. Even so, these people were scared to the point of breaking out in a cold sweat. They were afraid that if they made a single mistake, they would be killed by the Saint Array. Shi Chuan licked his lips and said, "Broken? Broken? It should be broken. The space door seems to have opened. We can break in," Hong Emo said. "Don't think it's over. There's more. If you break in now, you'll die. Continue to listen to my instructions," Yang Wu said seriously. Everyone had just breathed a sigh of relief, but they quickly tensed up again. Yang Wu continued to point out different array eyes, allowing the others to cooperate with him. He took care of the overall situation to prevent any mistake. This was a Saint Array. If they made a single mistake, the array would activate and none of them would be able to escape. Yang Wu would be lying if he said he wasn't nervous. His soul eye was focused, and he didn't dare make the slightest mistake. Pung! Pung! Under everyone's joint efforts, the array eyes were broken again and again. Finally, the space in front of them was completely revealed, and the array eyes on the left and right disappeared. Yang Wu repeated this twice, then said to the people around him, "Who wants to go in first?" Shi Chuan took the lead and said, "I'll go in first." After he said this, he didn't wait for Yang Wu's permission. He turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed through the space door. Xiao! Shi Chuan entered the space gate and didn't encounter any accident. The eyes of the other pirates lit up. They also wanted to rush in. Whoever went in first had the chance to obtain Tian Tsang's opportunity first. Yang Wu looked at the people next to him and said, "Who else wants to go in first?" "Master, I'm willing to go." One of the pirates stood up and cupped his fists. "Master, I'm also willing to go." Then 3 more people stood up and said. Yang Wu nodded gently and said, "You go in. No matter what you obtain, it's yours." The 4 were overjoyed and quickly rushed through the space door. "My lord, are you not planning to go in?" Hong Ying asked. "Hee, I worked so hard to break the formation, how could I not go in?" Yang Wu smiled faintly. After a pause, he asked again, "Who else wants to go in?" The people who stayed behind were all extremely cautious. They guessed that the inside might be filled with danger. If they rashly went in, there might not be any good result. No one wanted to rush in. Seeing that no one answered, Yang Wu smiled faintly and said, "If that's the case, then let's go in." After saying that, he quickly put on the defensive armor and led the way. Everyone looked at each other and prepared to defend themselves. It would definitely not be peaceful inside. After Yang Wu led them through the spatial gate, they quickly appeared in a different place. Screams of agony rang out as corpses fell to the ground in their direction. Flying Tiger stood up and threw out a tiger fist, blowing up the corpse. "It's the guys who came in first. They're dead." Hong Mo exclaimed. "Look, what's that? Even Shi Chuan is in a difficult situation." Hong Ying cried out. In front of him, Shi Chuan was fighting several golden silhouettes. These golden silhouettes didn't have any vitality. Looking at their appearance, they looked like monks. Each of them seemed to be made of gold. Their attacks were like dragons and tigers. Their combat strength was abnormally strong, comparable to the strength of a quasi-saint. In addition to them, there was an old coffin floating not far away. Below this old coffin, there was a pool of liquid that seemed to be steaming with dragon chi. There were also many herbs that were full of vitality growing there. Yang Wu's gaze fell on the pool of liquid, and his eyes glowed with excitement. He was sure that there was an extraordinary secret hidden here. In addition, he noticed that the demon-taming order seemed to have a sense of resonance. He couldn't help but wonder, is this place related to the demon-taming hall? Just as Yang Wu was in a daze, 3 golden monks rushed in their direction. They ran like the wind. One of them held a golden staff, one was barehanded, and one held a golden saber. Their momentum was surging, and the golden chi was dazzling. At this time, Shi Chuan, who was not far away, screamed, "Ah!" He was hit in the abdomen by a golden monk, and his body flew away like a cannonball. Shi Chuan was a quasi-saint. Although one of his arms was crippled, his combat strength was still inferior. But in front of these golden monks, he was still no match for them. This showed how strong these golden monks were. There were a total of 9 golden monks here. Each golden monk had an inexplicable pattern on their forehead. They were controlled by the pattern power there. They must have been very powerful when they were alive. Half-saint level puppets. Be careful if you join forces. Yang Wu exclaimed. He no longer paid attention to the people behind him and rushed towards the direction of the pool of liquid. Shi Chuan's goal was also the liquid. It might be the sacred liquid. If he got it, he would be able to regrow his arm. The 9 golden monks were guarding this place. How could they let these people break into the forbidden area? A golden monk rushed toward Yang Wu. The golden stick in his hand smashed down on Yang Wu's head. Golden light flickered and the stick's shadow was like a rainbow. In an instant, it arrived above Yang Wu's head. This kind of attack was really extraordinary. Yang Wu didn't want to fight head-on with the opponent. He quickly dodged and continued to rush forward with the wind god's legs. The golden monk followed him like a shadow. The golden stick swept continuously, blocking one side of the world and blocking Yang Wu's way. Yang Wu couldn't avoid it. He blocked it with the double-edged triple dragon spear. Clang! Clang! The two weapons collided and sparks splashed. Yang Wu's arm was numb from the shock. His body was continuously pushed back. He exclaimed, "What a powerful force!" The golden monk didn't have any emotions. He held the golden stick and attacked continuously. Every move contained an extremely domineering power. This kind of attack was very difficult to deal with. Yang Wu tried his best to block it. His hand was bleeding and the double-edged triple dragon spear was almost knocked out of his hand. If this went on, he would definitely be defeated. "I must find its weakness and kill it in one blow," Yang Wu said secretly. He locked his eyes on the golden monk's glabella. The ice blade wings were hidden and stabbed out. No matter how strong the golden monk was, he was just a puppet. He couldn't sense the existence of the ice blade wings. The ice blade wings pierced his glabella. The defensive power of the golden monk's glabella was very strong. The attack of the ice blade wings was not weak either. The ice blade wings almost pierced the golden monk's glabella. The power of the golden monk's glabella was impacted and stagnated for a short time. Yang Wu seized the opportunity and counterattacked with the double-edged triple dragon spear. The long spear was like a dragon, stabbing the golden monk's glabella heavily. Bang! Under the continuous attack, the golden monk's glabella was pierced through. The power of the golden monk's glabella was dispersed and his movement was stopped. Before Yang Wu could catch his breath, another golden monk rushed over and punched his back with a golden fist. Puff! The power of this punch was as heavy as 10 million ding. Yang Wu vomited blood and was sent flying away. The golden monk continued to rush over. His golden fists were like raindrops, enveloping Yang Wu. Every punch was enough to destroy a mountain. No peak miner saint could withstand it. The golden monk's attack was too fast. Yang Wu didn't even have the chance to counterattack. His body was beaten up. Fortunately, he was wearing a peak miner saint's defensive armor before he came in. Otherwise, he would have been killed instantly. The defensive armor was broken. Yang Wu was angry. He roared, "Don't think that you can be rude just because you are a monk. If you want to fight, let's fight." Yang Wu's battle chi soared to the sky. It was as if he had transformed into the black tortoise. The 8 trigrams tortoise shell appeared. He fought back despite the continuous attacks from the golden monk. A domineering spirit filled the air. Barbaric tyrant fist. Fist against fist. Both of them collided together. Yang Wu was beaten back again. Both of his arms were stained with blood. He felt that his arms were about to be broken. The ice-bladed wings seized the opportunity and launched another sneak attack. This time, the attack of the ice-bladed wings was fast and accurate. It wanted to break the power of the golden monk's glabella in one fell swoop. The power of the ice-bladed wings was no longer just the power of the kidneys. It could now borrow the power of the dantian to increase its power. It was like 2 icicles, one from the front and the other from the back, piercing towards the golden monk's glabella. This time, the attack of the ice-bladed wings finally destroyed the power of the golden monk's glabella. The golden monk was sent flying and lost his combat ability. Yang Wu didn't care about the others and rushed towards the liquid at full speed. With his combat experience, Shi Chuan had already reached the bottom of the coffin. The golden monk did not attack him anymore. Instead, he went towards the others. "Haha, it's the dragon marrow liquid. I can take the opportunity to cultivate the holy dragon body." Shi Chuan laughed wildly and was about to jump into the liquid. Yang Wu's voice sounded. It seems that you have forgotten your identity. Go to hell. Yang Wu no longer showed mercy and directly erased Sichuan's soul origin. The soul origin was the root of the soul. Once it was damaged, the spirit would suffer a great blow. Sichuan was too complacent. Finally, Yang Wu made a ruthless move. His soul seemed to be scattered and his head was about to explode. Yang Wu controlled the ice-bladed wings and slashed at Sichuan's neck. The semi-sage level plunderer's head was separated from his body. Yang Wu licked his lips and murmured, "Being controlled by this lord, you still don't know how to be loyal. You really don't know how to write the word death." Yang Wu came to the bottom of the ancient coffin. The golden monk did not chase after him. For them, the bottom of the ancient coffin was a forbidden area. Yang Wu did not rashly jump into the liquid. He turned back and shouted to White Hair Witch, "Yunqi, go out and bring me Zhenlong and Luoyun." After a pause, he added, "If you don't want to die, get out of here quickly." Half of the plunderers he brought in were dead. There were still a few survivors, but they could not resist the golden monk's attack. They would only be waiting for death if they stayed. "My lord, take care!" Fei Hu exclaimed and turned around to escape quickly. He was punched twice by the golden monk and several of his bones were broken. If it were not for his speed, he would have been killed long ago. Hong Mo and Hong Ying were more cautious. They stayed behind and did not participate in the battle. When they heard Yang Wu's order, they did not hesitate to leave. Chapter 803. Heavenly Treasury. Yang Wu came to the floating ancient coffin. Behind him were 7 golden monks. They surrounded Yang Wu. Once Yang Wu left here, they would join forces to kill Yang Wu. The surroundings were a mess. More than a dozen corpses were lying in pools of blood. They couldn't be more dead. These evil plunderers had all died here. Yang Wu didn't feel pity at all. Although they weren't weak, each of them was stained with blood. They deserved to die. Right now, he was thinking about how to get the dragon chi liquid. As Sichuan said, it should be a pool of dragon marrow liquid. Half of the dragon bone was soaked in the liquid. Wisps of dragon chi emerged from the dragon bone. This kind of dragon marrow liquid was comparable to the sacred liquid. It was of great benefit to body tempering. For Yang Zhenlong, it was even more rare. The chi here was connected to the ancient coffin. He didn't act rashly. He felt that the ancient coffin was strange. It wouldn't be too late to act after he figured it out. Let's defeat all 7 golden monks first. Yang Wu looked back at the 7 golden monks and said, Yang Wu wasn't stupid enough to rush over and fight with these golden monks. Instead, he used the ice blade wings to attack and defeat the golden monks one by one. These golden monks were very powerful. Unfortunately, they didn't have consciousness and couldn't perceive the existence of the ice blade wings. He could easily use them as rakes and crush the power between their eyebrows. The 7 semi-sage golden monks fell down one by one. If the dead Sichuan and the plunderers saw this scene, they would be very unwilling. They couldn't hurt the golden monks even if they tried their best. Yang Wu defeated them so easily. It was really infuriating. At this time, White-haired Demonis returned with Yang Zhenlong and Bai Luoyun. Come here first. Let me figure out what's going on here. Yang Wu said to them. Yang Zhenlong exclaimed excitedly, Father, I sense the smell of a dragon. Well, there's dragon marrow liquid here. It's enough for you to transform. Yang Wu said with a smile. That's great. Then Father, hurry up. Yang Zhenlong replied happily. Yang Wu nodded. He opened his soul eye again and looked at the ancient coffin. Just as Yang Wu's gaze landed on the ancient coffin instantly emitted an intense golden light. The golden light transformed into a blade and pierced straight towards Yang Wu's soul eye. Yang Wu did not even have time to react before his soul eye was pierced by the golden light. His fighting soul automatically defended against the golden light with all its might. Get out of here! Yang Wu's fighting soul was still very strong. His mental energy turned into a fist and continuously attacked, finally stopping the golden light. The ancient coffin's attack did not stop there. It actually dropped rapidly from midair and suppressed Yang Wu. Yang Wu could no longer open his eyes. He could keenly sense that the ancient coffin was falling. Without hesitation, he gathered all the strength in his body and attacked the ancient coffin. Bang bang! Yang Wu continuously attacked with the martial god's fist and Zhenwu boxing principle. It was like a black tortoise soaring into the sky and fiercely colliding with the ancient coffin. The power of the boxing principle could fight against a half-step saint. However, it was still unable to resist the suppression of the ancient coffin. The boxing principle was crushed inch by inch. The ancient coffin continued to smash down furiously. It was as if Mount Tai was pressing down on him. It was impossible to stop. Lord, Father! White-haired Demoness by Luoyun and Yang Zhenlong cried out in alarm. The ancient coffin was too strange. If it continued to smash down, Yang Wu would probably be smashed into a meat patty. Evil puppet, come out. At this critical moment, Yang Wu summoned an evil puppet. It blocked the ancient coffin in advance. He got a little breathing space and rushed out from under the ancient coffin. The evil puppet could only resist for a moment before it was crushed by the ancient coffin. Bang! The ancient coffin fell to the ground. The evil puppet was crushed into a pile of debris. Yang Wu had barely escaped. He hadn't been killed. However, his spiritual power had been seriously injured. So, he couldn't open his soul eye for a short time. The ancient coffin didn't stop there. It moved without wind and rushed towards Yang Wu. Its speed was too fast. Even if it hadn't reached the power of the Saint Realm, it was still comparable to the peak of the half-step Saint Realm. It was infinitely close to the power of the Saint Realm. Yang Wu couldn't dodge it. He was hit on the back by the ancient coffin. His body was sent flying like a kite with a broken string. Puff! His blood splashed. His body fell heavily 1,000 feet away. He was seriously injured and couldn't get up. You guys go out. I'll block it. White-haired Demoness said to Yang Zhenlong and Bai Luoyun. Then, she turned into a phantom and rushed towards the ancient coffin. She would block the ancient coffin for Yang Wu even if she had to die. Without waiting for white-haired Demoness to block the ancient coffin, a beautiful figure had already quietly appeared. A cyan-colored palm print furiously slammed towards the ancient coffin. Bang! The powerful ancient coffin was sent flying by the cyan palm. This was the power of the saint power. It was so powerful that even the ancient coffin couldn't block it. However, this ancient coffin was really strange. After it was sent flying, it didn't explode, nor was it damaged in the slightest. Qing Feng frowned. She attacked again. She wanted to break the ancient coffin completely. The cyan palm shot towards the ancient coffin. Golden light burst out from the ancient coffin, and a Sanskrit sound was heard. Bang! The Sanskrit sound was the same as the sound of the ape guarding outside the crack. However, there was a huge difference in power between the two. The Sanskrit sound from the ancient coffin was like the roar of the Buddha. It contained a kind of soul-attacking power. No one could block it. The Sanskrit sound and the cyan palm collided fiercely. The Sanskrit sound was still a bit weaker. The Sanskrit sound was shattered, and the Sanskrit palm was also weakened. It didn't pose too much of a threat to the ancient coffin. The ancient coffin didn't retreat. Unknowingly, it had returned to the pool of dragon marrow liquid. A majestic dragon chi was released from the coffin. A terrifying dragon-shaped battle chi soared into the sky and entered the ancient coffin. A terrifying holy aura swept out in all directions. In addition, an unknown ancient scripture soared into the sky. Sanskrit chants resounded once again. Roar! Bang! A real dragon roared, and the Sanskrit sound was heard. The real dragon became 10,000 zhang long, and its powerful body fiercely crashed into Qing Feng. There was also a bang sound aimed at Qing Feng's head. Qing Feng frowned. She waved her hands and two cyan palms shot out. It was as if a cyan phoenix had appeared and pecked at the real dragon. There were also countless feathers that were like sharp blades cutting through the Sanskrit scriptures. The sky was connected, and the saint power was shocking. It seemed like the space was about to explode. Boom! Boom! No matter how strong the ancient coffin was, it wasn't as strong as Qing Feng. After all, it was borrowing the power of the ancient coffin. An evil voice sounded from the ancient coffin, "You're disturbing my cultivation. You'll all die a horrible death." The ancient coffin carried a terrifying momentum towards Qing Feng. It looked like the head of a dragon, and it was shining with golden light. Its power was boundless. Nobody dared to look at it directly. Break! Qing Feng didn't waste time talking nonsense. She raised her spirit and used all of her strength to hit the coffin. Who knew that the ancient coffin was only bluffing? It suddenly changed its direction and soared into the sky, dodging Qing Feng's attack. In the next moment, it appeared in front of the space gate and escaped from this space. Qing Feng wanted to stop it, but it was too late. Qing Feng hesitated and said, "You guys stay here. I'll go and see." She turned into a phoenix and quickly chased after the ancient coffin. White-Haired Demoness by Luo Yun and Yang Zhenlong quickly flew towards Yang Wu. Yang Wu had already sat up, but his aura was weak. He hadn't completely recovered yet. "Father, are you okay?" Yang Zhenlong asked worriedly. Yang Wu's eyes were a little dazed as he shook his head. The Sanskrit's attack wasn't so easy to calm down. He closed his eyes and started to use the Soul Control Sutra to heal his soul as quickly as possible. Ever since he condensed his battle soul, this was the first time his soul had been injured. It could be seen how terrifying the Sanskrit's attack was. The Soul Control Sutra was indeed a sutra that targeted the soul. When it was used, the divine court Tao flower released strands of spiritual energy and wrapped around the battle soul, nourishing it bit by bit. His body's injuries weren't big. The Regal Nine Mysteries Sutra automatically circulated and could slowly heal him. White-Haired Demoness by Luo Yun and Yang Zhenlong didn't leave his side. They stayed by his side until he recovered. After 2 hours, Yang Wu woke up from his meditation. He looked at his companions and smiled. "I'm fine. Let's go see the dragon marrow liquid and the dragon marrow grass." "Are you really okay?" White-Haired Demoness asked. "Yes. Don't worry. I'm not that weak." Yang Wu nodded. "So?" He stood up and walked toward the dragon marrow liquid. The others followed closely behind. The dragon marrow liquid was formed by the condensation of the spiritual spring, dragon bones, and dragon chi. The level of the dragon bones determined the level of the dragon marrow liquid. The level of the dragon marrow liquid in front of them wasn't low. It was at least at the level of a sage-to-be or even a true sage-to-be. Otherwise, the ancient coffin wouldn't have been able to lend out such a powerful dragon chi. Yang Zhenlong was close to the dragon clan. When he saw the dragon marrow liquid, he shouted excitedly, "Pure dragon marrow liquid." Yang Wu sized up this pool of dragon marrow liquid. It could accommodate at least a dozen people at the same time. He said to his companions beside him, "Don't be in a hurry to soak your bodies in. Let me add some more ingredients and remove the dragon chi before you go in. Otherwise, it will be quite harmful to us." "It's all up to you, my lord," Bai Luoyun said excitedly. If they could soak their bodies in the dragon marrow liquid, their bodies would undoubtedly be greatly improved. This would be a great opportunity. White-Haired Demoness didn't have any objections. She agreed with whatever Yang Wu did. Yang Zhenlong said, "Father, I'm not afraid of the dragon chi." Yang Wu said with a smile, "There's a lot of dragon marrow liquid here. It's useful even for small saints. You're still in the king realm and can't bear so much energy. I'll collect some for you. I'll let you soak half of it and leave the other half to us." "Roar, father is the best!" Yang Zhenlong shouted with satisfaction. "Okay, I'll divide the dragon marrow liquid first and mix some herbs to fully display the effects of the dragon marrow liquid." Chapter 804. Outside the Crevice. Qing Feng chased after the ancient coffin. The ancient coffin was fast, but so was Qing Feng. Just as Qing Feng was about to catch it, it suddenly exploded. A terrifying explosion swept out in all directions, shaking the space. Qing Feng had to stop. A sinister voice echoed, "I'll remember you. It won't be long before all of you die." A beam of golden light had already left this world. Soon, he appeared in a barren mountainous area. He was a naked young monk who looked to be in his early 20s. There were 9 ring scars on his head. He had a resolute face, a pair of sharp eyes and a bronze-colored body. Every part of him was filled with explosive power. He put his palms together, and there seemed to be small dragons floating above his palms. The boiling power of his blood chi was extremely powerful. "I have not cultivated my golden dragon Buddha body to the greater completion realm, and it was interrupted. Damn it." The young Arhat didn't look like a kind monk. He shouted coldly and reached out with a golden palm to smash a mountain into powder. Then, he smiled coldly and said, "Hee, the power is not bad. With my current battle power, I am not afraid of even a saint. The first place of the heavenly dragon ranking will be mine." Who would have thought that this young monk was still in the dragon transformation realm? He was not a real saint. But with his dragon transformation realm, he had the power to fight against a saint. Even if he borrowed the power left behind by Tiansong, it was still terrifying enough. There is still some time before the heavenly dragon ranking opens. Let me travel for a while, and then return to the temple. As for the disciple who interrupted my cultivation, we will meet again in the future. I will take care of them then. The Arhat muttered to himself. He stepped into the air and disappeared in an instant. In the crevice, Yang Wu divided the dragon marrow liquid into 3 parts. He left a small half for Yang Zhenlong to soak in, kept the other half for future use, and moved the other half to another place. He mixed some herbs to lower the dragon chi and help them refine their bodies. Yang Zhenlong soaked in the dragon marrow liquid before the others. When he walked in, he quickly turned back into his original form and roared continuously. Roar! The demonic dragon aura began to seep into its body. Even though it had thick skin and thick flesh, it was still in excruciating pain. Yang Zhenlong was only a demon king, and this was the saint-level dragon marrow liquid. If he did not have a trace of true dragon bloodline and had been soaked in the blood fiend mystic essence chi, he would have been devoured by the dragon fiend chi and died. Bai Luoyun looked at Yang Zhenlong, who was rolling on the floor in pain. He shrunk his neck and said, "So miserable! You will definitely die if you enter," White-haired Demoness said in a deep voice. Yang Wu stood at the side as if he did not hear their words. He refined the herbs one by one and dripped their essences into the dragon marrow liquid. Not only could these herbs eliminate the dragon chi, they could also enhance the effects of the dragon marrow liquid. Yang Wu consumed a total of 180 herbs before he was able to suppress the dragon chi and soak his body in it. Luo Yun, you are weaker. The power of the dragon marrow liquid here is very strong. Take as much as you can. Don't force it or you will be devoured. Yang Wu reminded Bai Luoyun. Yes, master. Bai Luoyun replied. Okay, let's go in. Remember, the dragon chi is only suppressed. It is still very domineering. Enjoy it. Yang Wu smiled. Then, Yang Wu took the lead and walked into the dragon marrow liquid. White-haired Demoness followed closely behind. Bai Luoyun also followed. Ah! Bai Luoyun howled as soon as he walked into the dragon marrow liquid. The power of the dragon marrow liquid was boundless. The dragon chi was still there. Even though it was very weak, it was still enough for Bai Luoyun to endure. Yang Wu and White-haired Demoness were both attacked by the dragon aura. They did not activate their defenses and allowed the dragon aura to enter their bodies and stimulate their muscles. Only by enduring the dragon aura would they be able to withstand the cleansing of the dragon marrow liquid. Yang Wu chose a spot in the middle and sat down cross-legged. The chi of the dragon killing intent still caused him to feel a slight pain. It was as if his body was being bitten by numerous small dragons. After that, the qi entered his body and stimulated his meridians, acupoints, and internal organs. Yang Wu completely relaxed his body and allowed the power to transform his body. In the God of War Pagoda, he had already tempered his body to the limit of every realm. Now that he had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm, this was the key to advancing to the dragon transformation realm. He had to further enhance his combat body. Only then would he become even stronger after advancing to the dragon transformation realm. The dragonfish in his body was crazily devouring the power of the dragon marrow liquid. The dragonfish's body was very huge, like a 1,000-year-old fish demon. It swam around in the vast sea and jumped up from time to time. Its strength was astonishing. Once Yang Wu broke through to the dragon transformation realm, this dragonfish would become the overlord of the dragonfish. It would be able to transform into a true dragon at the fastest speed. The regal 9 profound arts was operating, and the improved dragon marrow liquid continuously seeped into his body, filling every part of his body. The areas that were lacking in his body began to be filled, and a dragon qi appeared behind him, incomparably powerful. Not far away, the white-haired she-devil revealed a pained expression. Clearly, the dragon qi was affecting her. She was enduring it with all her might. After an unknown period of time, she no longer revealed a pained expression. She had gotten used to the stimulation of the dragon qi. Bai Luoyun was still crying out in pain. The scales on his body were falling off piece by piece, and blood was seeping out from his skin. The power of the dragon marrow liquid was too strong. He could not bear it. I have to persevere. I have to persevere. I have to become stronger. I can't be a burden to the Lord. Bai Luoyun gritted his teeth and kept roaring in his heart. He endured the pain bit by bit as his body was being transformed rapidly. This time, the time they spent undergoing the marrow cleansing was not short. The person who woke up the fastest was Bai Luoyun. After forcefully enduring for 3 days, his body had almost shed a layer of skin. He could not bear it any longer and rushed out of the dragon marrow liquid. When he came out, his strength increased rapidly, charging towards the peak of the heavenly realm. Dense Xian Qi was released, and his body was growing rapidly. The Xian Qi of heaven and earth entered his body, and he successfully broke through. White-haired Demoness also came out of the dragon marrow liquid on the 5th day. She had gained a lot. She had reached the semi-sage realm. The marrow cleansing of the dragon marrow liquid was of great significance. It strengthened her physique, and also increased her chances of breaking through to the celestial rune realm. I have to make up for what I missed as soon as possible. I want to become a sage. White-haired Demoness sat cross-legged on one side and continued to consolidate her gains. She had touched the edge of the celestial rune realm. She only needed an opportunity to step into the celestial rune realm and become a sage. This opportunity might appear soon, or it might not appear for a long time. It might even never appear. This depended on one's perception and cultivation talent. On the 7th day, Yang Zhenlong also rushed out of the dragon marrow liquid. He issued a dragon roar, and his body was constantly transforming. His dragon aura was even more terrifying. His aura was charging towards the heavenly demon realm. Rumble! Yang Zhenlong was ravaged by the terrifying heavenly thunder, but he barely survived and smoothly broke through to the heavenly demon realm. He drilled into the dragon marrow liquid again, and underwent a second transformation. The biggest gain of this trip was definitely Yang Zhenlong. Apart from the advancement of his realm, his body had also become more powerful. On the 10th day, Yang Wu also made a move. He didn't come out, but increased the speed of his devouring. The power of the dragon marrow liquid was unceasingly converging towards him. He was like a bottomless pit. The dragon marrow liquid was cleansing his body over and over again. The green sprout in his body also absorbed some of the dragon marrow liquid, but more of it was absorbed by his body. Not only did it cleanse his meridians, acupoints, and internal organs, even his bones were being refined by him. After he had devoured almost all the power of the dragon marrow liquid, he finally completed the refinement. Bai Luoyun was watching this scene the entire time. He couldn't help but cry out in alarm. How did the Lord do it? White-haired Demonis lightly said, You only refined your skin and flesh. I refined my skin and internal organs. He refined his entire body, including his bones. He has achieved a half-sage battle body. Bai Luoyun stared with wide eyes. Is the Lord not afraid of exploding from all this power? He is not, you. White-haired Demonis said. Bai Luoyun felt very hurt. He had broken through to the peak of the heavenly realm and finally caught up to Yang Wu's realm. But he still felt that the difference between him and Yang Wu was like heaven and earth. Yang Wu rushed out of the dragon marrow liquid. His entire body was covered in dragon aura. It was as if a true dragon had appeared. His oppressive aura made people unable to look straight at him. He wasn't in the dragon transformation realm, but his aura was something that even a dragon transformation realm cultivator couldn't compare to. The dragon marrow liquid is really good stuff. Yang Wu smiled with incomparable satisfaction. In his current state, if he faced the vicious ape again, it wouldn't be a lose-lose situation. He was confident that he could kill it. On the other side, Yang Zhenlong had completed his second refinement. He flew out as heavenly lightning rained down on him. The second wave of tribulation lightning was a mid-level heavenly demon. Yang Zhenlong's breakthrough speed was too fast. This time, Yang Zhenlong didn't have as much trouble resisting the heavenly lightning as before. Even if there was a mutated heavenly lightning, he could face it head-on. In the end, he successfully passed the tribulation lightning. Although he was covered in wounds, his condition was much better than the first time. Yang Zhenlong dove into the dragon marrow liquid again. He used the remaining power of the dragon marrow liquid to heal his wounds and conduct the final refinement at the same time. Yang Wu watched Yang Zhenlong do this and couldn't help but laugh. This little guy knows how to take advantage of opportunities. This time's harvest is great. Yang Zhenlong had a sliver of dragon blood. He was destined to receive benefits that others couldn't imagine. Yang Wu, white-haired Demonis, and Bai Luoyun waited patiently for 2 more days before Yang Zhenlong finished his refinement. Chapter 805. Yang Wu named the flood dragon Yang Zhenlong because he wanted him to become a true dragon one day. Yang Wu hadn't thought that the opportunity would come so quickly. After Yang Zhenlong had obtained the dragon marrow liquid's purification and tempering, his dragon form had become even more distinct. He was much more powerful than an ordinary flood dragon. Dragon scales had begun to grow on his body, and even dragon whiskers had sprouted. He was much stronger than before. He was only a blood flood dragon. If he wanted to transform into a true dragon, he had to go through the transformation process. The dragon marrow liquid's power was very pure, but it still wasn't the dragon's true life force. Only after he obtained the dragon's life force would he have the chance to completely replace his bloodline power and transform into a dragon. Currently, Yang Zhenlong was the emperor of the flood dragons. His aura was very domineering and his dragon chi was very obvious. He was very satisfied. Luoyun, I want to challenge you. After Yang Zhenlong's transformation, the first person he wanted to challenge was Bai Luoyun. He said he wanted to surpass Bai Luoyun first. Bai Luoyun stood up and scolded with a smile. Good boy, you just increased your strength and you dare to challenge your uncle Luoyun. You really don't have any respect for me. Yang Zhenlong said shyly. No, I just feel that Uncle Luoyun is a good opponent. That's why I want to challenge you. Cut the crap. Uncle will teach you how to be a human, no, a dragon. Bai Luoyun confidently went up to meet him. He released the power of a top-notch Heaven Realm expert and formed a mist around him. He became even more proficient in controlling water profound energy. Uncle, are you ready? Yang Zhenlong asked. Come. Bai Luoyun said in a deep voice. Then I'm coming. Yang Zhenlong shouted and swung a powerful dragon fist. His target was Bai Luoyun. The dragon fist was mighty and the demonic qi shocked the heavens. Yang Zhenlong's explosive power was very strong. Even a high-level demon couldn't compare. He was strong enough to fight a peak heavenly fish. Good boy, your battle qi is really amazing, but you are still far from being able to challenge your uncle. Bai Luoyun shouted and shot out a blue palm to meet Yang Zhenlong's attack. Bai Luoyun did not use his full strength. He had just broken through to the heavenly fish realm and was very powerful. He was afraid that he would hurt Yang Zhenlong. In the end, he suffered a great loss. The power of Yang Zhenlong's dragon fist was extremely strong. It destroyed his palm print with one punch and punched towards his chest. Bang! Bai Luoyun reacted quickly. He condensed his battle qi and took Yang Zhenlong's punch head-on, sending him flying. After Yang Zhenlong succeeded in his move, he took advantage of the situation and quickly chased after Bai Luoyun with dragon step. One after another, dragon fists bombarded Bai Luoyun like raindrop. Damn, it's for real! Bai Luoyun adjusted his body. He bounced up and struck out with his palms to block Yang Zhenlong's attack. Yang Zhenlong's punches were too fast for him to block. He took a few more punches from Yang Zhenlong and his face was swollen. Uncle Luoyun, your strength is not enough. Yang Zhenlong provoked. Bai Luoyun was so angry that he shouted, Good boy, I will teach you how to be a dragon. In an instant, a powerful mist exploded and forced Yang Zhenlong's attack to retreat. Then, he counterattacked. He used swimming fish steps and circled to Yang Zhenlong's side. He struck out with both palms. The power of each palm print was suffused with a thick blue light. The power was much stronger than before, and Yang Zhenlong's body was sent flying. Yang Zhenlong's body was strong and was not affected at all. He bounced back and fought with Bai Luoyun. After Bai Luoyun became serious, he would not let Yang Zhenlong succeed so easily. The battle between the two was extremely intense, and the heaven-earth profound qi here was messed up by them. Who do you think is stronger? Yang Wu asked white-haired Demoness. Bai Luoyun. White-haired Demoness said with certainty. After pausing for a moment, she added, In a life-and-death battle, Yang Zhenlong lives. Yang Wu's eyes slightly raised as he said, The dragon race's battle body is too strong. I'm really looking forward to him transforming into a true dragon. Yang Wu did not have time to continue watching their battle. He walked towards the dragon marrowgrass and picked it up. This would be of great use to him when he entered the dragon transformation realm. There was still half a dragon bone in the dragon marrow liquid. He did not let it go. It was incomparably important to Yang Zhenlong. It was a good thing for him to cultivate for a period of time. Swallowing it would allow him to grow true dragon bones. Yang Wu also took a small piece of dragon bone to use as medicine. This was one of the necessary ingredients to refine the inverse dragon pill. At that moment, the demon taming command in his yin-yang space began to move again. Yang Wu did not think too much about it and took out the demon taming command. The moment the demon taming command was taken out, it automatically released a strange energy. Below the dragon marrow liquid, something suddenly broke out of the ground. It was a command medallion. The medallion was filled with a dense dragon aura. The demon taming command medallion resonated with it, constantly intertwining with it. The figure of a demon taming command medallion appeared from the medallion. It was a tall demon taming command medallion, and a faint voice sounded out, Dragon Guard Medallion. Roar. The medallion's dragon aura roared as a figure wearing armor appeared from the medallion. The figure replied, The leader of the third Dragon Guard greets the demon taming temple master. AI, my heavenly palace has been destroyed. The demon taming command medallion's figure heavily sighed. As long as the dragon guards do not die, the heavenly palace will not be destroyed. The leader firmly said. The death of a man is like the extinguishment of a lamp. In the end, The heavenly palace cannot defeat an immortal. The demon taming command medallion's hall master faintly replied. He then glanced at Yang Wu and said, "Let out a heavenly voice. The dragon guard medallion returns." In the next moment, the demon taming command medallion's aura disappeared, and the medallion returned to normal. Yang Wu could not help but let out a heavenly voice, as if it was the voice of a true son of heaven from ancient times. The dragon guard medallion's aura receded, and the figure of the third dragon guard slightly cupped his fists towards Yang Wu, leaving behind a voice. "I hope that my dragon guard will regain its invincible might." The third dragon guard disappeared from the medallion, falling into Yang Wu's hands together with the demon taming command medallion. Yang Wu carefully examined the two medallions and discovered that they were made of the same material. They were both sacred medallions, and both medallions had the same special symbol. The only difference was the words on the medallion. Both of them are Heavenly Palace medallions. Yang Wu absent-mindedly muttered. The Heavenly Palace had an extraordinary background, and every medallion had a different meaning. He had actually obtained two of them. It seemed like he really was fated with the Heavenly Palace. Yang Wu carefully put away the two medallions. Perhaps they would be of great use very soon. Yang Wu continued to walk around this space, looking for anything else that he had missed. Not long after, he discovered an old stone. There was a strange Sanskrit character carved on the stone. He could not recognize what it was, but he felt that it was very similar to the sound emitted by the vicious ape and the ancient coffin. The white-haired demoness appeared beside Yang Wu and said indifferently, "This is the Sanskrit word the Buddhist's 6 syllables of truth. It's said that anyone who can comprehend the Buddhist's 6 syllables of truth can turn anyone into a Buddha, and can also destroy any god or devil. Although the rumors are a bit exaggerated, the ancient Buddhas who immediately became Buddhas had Buddhist chants, and their destructive power is indeed very terrifying." "You mean to say that we can comprehend the Buddhist's incantation from this stone tablet?" Yang Wu asked back. The white-haired demoness lightly shook her head. "How can the Buddhist's incantation be so easy to comprehend? It requires great wisdom, and only those who are fated with the Buddha will have the chance. Simply speaking, this stone tablet is imprinted with an inheritance, and whether or not we can obtain this inheritance is the key." "Then why don't you give it a try first?" Yang Wu said. The white-haired demoness did not refuse. She sat down and used her spiritual power to sense the stone tablet. She wanted to see if she could obtain anything from the stone tablet. Yang Wu did not stay idle. He continued to walk towards other places. He walked around in a circle. Bai Luoyun and Yang Zhenlong's battle had stopped. Bai Luoyun's skill was a level higher, and he was able to suppress Yang Zhenlong. "Ha, stinky brat, you know your wrongs." Bai Luoyun's body was covered with injuries as he pressed down on Yang Zhenlong's body and laughed. Yang Zhenlong did not reveal his true body. He lied down and replied, "Luo Yun is mighty, just let me go." "Stinky brat, hurry up and get up." Bai Luo Yun did not argue with Yang Zhenlong. He jokingly scolded him, and then he let Yang Zhenlong go. Yang Zhenlong bounced up and smiled. "Uncle Luo Yun, don't be arrogant. It won't be long before I surpass you. I definitely won't give you the chance." Bai Luoyun clenched his fist and said, "All right, stop scolding. Let Yunqi quietly comprehend the stone tablet." Yang Wu said. Yang Zhenlong and Bai Luoyun immediately shut up and began to heal their wounds. The white-haired demoness studied the stone tablet for an hour, but she did not gain anything. She stood up and calmly said, "My lord, why don't you give it a try? I feel that this stone tablet is a bit out of the ordinary. Perhaps there really is an incantation imprint hidden within. Perhaps a drop of essence blood can break open the mystery of the stone tablet?" Yang Wu asked back. The white-haired demoness shook her head and said, "How could an authentic Buddhist incantation be stained with blood? I see. Then I'll give it a try." Yang Wu suddenly understood and replied. He began to sit down cross-legged, looking for an opportunity to sense the stone tablet. His soul eye had been pierced by the golden light. Even if his mental strength had recovered, it would be difficult for him to open it again in a short period of time. He could not use his soul eye, but he could still use his battle soul. The battle soul appeared, and he used his mental strength to concentrate on the stone tablet. He wanted to see if the stone tablet could resonate with it. The stone tablet did not move at all, but just as the white-haired demoness said, it gave people an indescribable feeling of mystery, as if it really did contain the power of an incantation. Yang Wu could not help but think back to the Sanskrit chants that the fierce ape and the ancient coffin had made. He tried to learn to make the hum sound. At first, he did not sound like it, but after making a dozen or so sounds, he felt that it was quite similar. However, the words on the stone tablet still did not respond. Could it be that I'm overthinking it? Yang Wu could not help but think to himself. In the next moment, he had a flash of inspiration. He remembered that the hum sound was a Buddhist incantation that targeted the soul. If he used his battle soul to make the incantation, he might be able to obtain a resonance. Thus, he changed to using his battle soul to make the incantation. Hum, 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 hum. The incantation was faint, and the Buddhist aura was faintly discernible. Yang Wu did not know how many times he had made the hum sound. The stone tablet suddenly emitted a golden light, and a Buddhist incantation sounded out. Hum. Chapter 806. Buddhist Mantra. Many people in the world knew that they were Om, Ma and I, Pad, Me and Hum. Each Buddhist sound represented a different meaning. Usually, people knew that the Tsempo praised the merit of chanting the six-word bright mantra. If one chanted the six-word bright mantra, one could cover up and destroy the evil of the world. The word hum could cover up and destroy the evil of the heavenly demon. The word ma could cover up and destroy the evil of the female ghost. The word Enai could cover up and destroy the evil of the nirvana demon. The word ba could cover up and destroy the evil of the earth god. The word mi could cover up and destroy the evil of the nirvana demon and the death demon. The word hum could cover up and destroy the evil of the dove Pan-ti and the Rakshasa. The king who chanted this mantra could purify all the karma and habits created by the three gates of body, speech, and mind. The word hum could purify the body. The word ma could purify the language barrier. The word Enai could purify the mind barrier. The word ba could purify the worry barrier. The word mi could purify the chi barrier. The word hum could purify the knowledge barrier. The six-word mantra was also known as the six-word bright mantra. Everyone understood different meanings, and the meaning they could erupt was also different. When the stone tablet let out a deafening bang sound, Yang Wu felt as if his head was about to explode. Even his fighting soul was unable to stop its power from invading his body. As the bang sound entered his body and attacked his fighting soul was in danger of collapsing. Suddenly, the divine court Dao flower released a unique power. A petal absorbed the Sanskrit words and imprinted them on the petal. Yang Wu's pain subsided. He seemed to see an ancient Buddha solemnly putting his palms together and chanting. With a thought, all things would be revived, all things would die, the world would change, and the stars would move. The power of the hum was shocking. It contained infinite wisdom and power. It was not something that anyone could understand. Yang Wu imitated Gu Zun and sat cross-legged. He put his palms together and kept chanting, hum. Hum. The first word was ordinary. The second word was ordinary. The third word was full of Buddhist aura. Suddenly, wisps of Buddha nature floated around his body. He was like a Buddha descending, exuding a transcendent temperament. With this sound, Yang Wu's body and mind were cleansed and purified. Many obsessions that he had held since he was a child flashed through his mind. These obsessions quietly disappeared, and his thoughts instantly became clear. Everything became clear, and his state of mind became completely different. He actually had the thought of yearning for Buddhism. Yang Wu had gone through 10 years of training in the God of War pagoda. His will was very firm. At the critical moment, he shouted, "Don't try to change my mind." Following his voice, the ancient monk disappeared. The Sanskrit sounds scattered, and everything returned to normal. "My lord, are you all right?" White-haired Demonis and Bai Luoyun asked in unison. Yang Wu wiped off his cold sweat and said, "That was close. I was almost turned into a Buddha by the Buddha's words. How terrifying!" "You sensed the power of the imprint?" White-haired Demonis asked. Yang Wu nodded and said, "Yes, it shouldn't be wrong." Bang! Suddenly, the stone tablet cracked open. Yang Wu frowned and said, "What's going on?" "The imprint's intent has dissipated. The inheritance is also gone," White-haired Demonis said. "Let's go. Let's leave this place." Yang Wu felt that it was a little dangerous to continue staying here. He stood up and left with White-haired Demonis, Bai Luoyun, and Yang Zhenlong. The intent of Buddhism was too strong. He didn't want to become a Buddha. He was afraid that if he continued to stay here, his will would be affected again. Yang Wu's group left the crevice. Flying Tiger, Hong Mo, and Hong Ying didn't leave. They stayed obediently. It wasn't that they didn't think of escaping, but when they thought of the saints here, they were afraid that they would follow in Wolf Fang's footsteps. After Yang Wu came out, he didn't say anything to them. He took out the battleship and left with them. Qing Feng quietly returned to the battleship. Flying Tiger, Hong Mo, and Hong Ying were finally able to see the beautiful saint's appearance. They became incomparably cautious. They didn't even dare to breathe loudly. They were glad that they didn't run away. Otherwise, they really would have died. "What is that ancient coffin?" Yang Wu asked Qing Feng. "A person," Qing Feng replied. "A person lying in an ancient coffin? The legendary living dead? A young monk in cultivation. He hasn't become a saint yet." "What? A young monk who hasn't become a saint yet? How can he be so strong?" "His strength is great. Even with external help, I can't take him down quickly," Qing Feng replied. After a pause, she added, "If you meet him in the future, run away immediately. I haven't even seen what he looks like." "How can I run away?" Yang Wu shrugged. After a pause, he said, "Wait until I enter the dragon transformation realm. If I meet him again, I might not lose." Yang Wu could fight against a half-saint. When he entered a higher realm, he was confident that he would be invincible under the half-saint realm. Even if he met the young monk in the ancient coffin again, he wouldn't be afraid. This was his martial intent. He wanted to surpass all limits and become an invincible god of war. Thinking of this, Yang Wu sat down cross-legged. He abandoned all distracting thoughts and began to cultivate. Even though he had given up on the idea of becoming a Buddha, he had already obtained the sound of hum. He wanted to try cultivating it. Perhaps it could become one of the strongest trump cards of his war soul. Hum, hum, hum. Yang Wu's war soul meditated on the sound of hum. He wanted to familiarize himself with this feeling. Even if he couldn't unleash the true meaning of Buddhism, as long as he touched the surface, he would be able to benefit greatly. The sound of hum came from the soul. When attacking the soul, it mainly relied on one's spiritual will. Strengthening one's spiritual will might be the key to activating the sound of hum. After Yang Wu imitated the sound of hum for 1,000 times, he finally found a trick. Using his spiritual will to imitate the sound of hum was difficult. He had to use the power of the Buddha aperture to unleash its power. How to open the Buddha aperture? From the Buddha's point of view, one had to have the Buddha root or become a Buddhist disciple to open the Buddha aperture. Yang Wu had opened the ultimate circulation. All the tricks were different. His celestial spirit aperture had the Buddha root and could comprehend the nature of Buddha. He sat cross-legged like an ancient monk and said in his heart, "My heart is Buddha, and Buddha is in my heart." He calmed his heart like an old monk. He slightly opened his mouth and a hum sound came out. The people on the battleship were caught off guard. Their souls were almost shattered by this sound. Qing Feng blocked the power of the hum sound so that it wouldn't hurt anyone. The sound spread out in all directions. Some of the big birds that were flying over were affected and fell from the sky. The Buddha's voice was faintly discernible and boundless. After Yang Wu grasped the trick, he continuously made the hum sound. He waited until the battle spirit's power was exhausted before he stopped. Yang Wu opened his eyes and muttered, "Did you grasp it? Father, you almost killed me." Yang Zhenlong covered his ears and said. Bai Luoyun said weakly, "Lord, when you cultivate in the future, stay away from us. You are too scary." Lord is a heavenly talent. You have learned the Buddha's mantra. This is truly worthy of celebration. Hong Imo flattered. Fei Hu said seriously from the side, "Lord, in the hidden sky realm, you must not casually use the Buddha's voice." Yang Wu looked at Fei Hu in surprise and asked, "Why? Who in the world doesn't know that the hidden sky realm is the origin of Buddhism? Even the Shaolin Temple of Mount Song came from here. With the Tianli Temple and the Evil Buddha Temple, the Shaolin Temple can't compare." The phrase, "all the martial arts in the world come from the Shaolin Temple," is a joke in their eyes. They are the ones who have the supreme inheritance. If anyone learns the Buddha's mantra and isn't a disciple of Buddhism, they will be killed. Fei Hu said, "No way, isn't Buddhism the most benevolent and forgiving?" Yang Wu said in shock. "Haha, if the Yuzhou Temple represents benevolence, then the hidden sky realm's Buddhism represents evil. As long as they think something is wrong, everything is evil." Fei Hu coldly laughed. Hong Imo said from the side, "The Tianli Temple represents the supreme of Buddhism. Their followers are all over the hidden sky realm. They still flatter the path of ultimate kindness and are praised by the common people of hidden sky realm. It is the evil Buddha Temple that has ruined the reputation of Buddhism. The Tianli Temple not only represents kindness but also evil. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a branch like the evil Buddha Temple. Moreover, this branch rose to prominence in recent times and can stand shoulder to shoulder with them." Fei Hu retorted. Yang Wu interrupted them and said, "According to what you're saying, the people here can't casually learn the Buddha's mantra? That's not it. It's just that once you learn the Buddha's mantra, you have to become their follower and listen to their commands. You have to follow their rules. Otherwise, you will be seen as a Buddha rebel, and it will be very difficult for you to leave the hidden sky realm alive." Fei Hu replied. Yang Wu finally understood. If he learned the Buddha's mantra, it was equivalent to putting on the golden hoop curse. Once it was exposed, he would be taken care of by the Buddhists. It would not be so easy for him to regain his freedom. What a tyrannical Buddha! Yang Wu sighed softly. He paused for a moment and looked into the distance. "Whoever makes me uncomfortable, I will be uncomfortable with them." Amit Ba. Unknowingly, they finally arrived at the first city of the hidden sky realm, Beulah City. This was a city that looked very exotic. The city walls were made of yellow earth and were not very high. Any martial artist could step over them. Everyone was wearing strange clothes. They wore big hats on their heads, carried bamboo baskets on their backs, and led cows and horses on their hands. Their simple smiles gave people a feeling of being approachable. After Yang Wu's group arrived here, they felt as if they had come to another country and felt the charm of a different civilization. "So this is the hidden sky realm. It feels pretty good," Yang Wu said with emotion. "Yes, most of the Tibetan people are very kind and simple. Only those who have been poisoned are dangerous," Fei Hu said from the side. Fei Hu was born in the hidden sky realm, so he was very familiar with everything here. He loved this piece of land, but at the same time, he hated it. No one was more conflicted than him. Just as Yang Wu's group was heading towards the spatial door in the city, a commotion arose. A group of bandits riding on Hummers with their faces covered rushed out of nowhere and brutally massacred the citizens of the city. Chapter 807. The sudden massacre caught everyone off guard. The citizens were killed one by one, scaring them into fleeing in panic, screaming again and again. There weren't many of these horsemen, only about a dozen of them. They charged into the streets and killed everyone they saw. They were simply lunatic. Haha, you lowly people, go to hell. What's the point of living in this world? Anyone who dares to go against our rule will die. Living Buddhas are nothing to them. You are all stupid people who have been corrupted by evil Buddhas. Only the moon worship cult is the orthodox force of this land. Hurry up and worship us, or you will all die. You villains, you won't have a good death. The Buddha will punish your descendants. A citizen shouted. As soon as his voice fell, he was cut in half by a saber, and his blood spilled all over the ground. Mom! Mom! A little girl holding a candied hawthorn was scared to tears by this scene. She couldn't find her parents and could be trampled to death at any time in this chaotic street. A bandit rushed over, raised his horse's hoof high, and stomped down on the little girl. The bandit grinned and said, "I'll send you to see your mother." These guys were devoid of humanity and didn't even let a child go. Bastard! Yang Wu couldn't help but curse. His figure was like an arrow released from a bow. In an instant, he appeared in front of the little girl and punched the horse's abdomen. Bang! The savage horse was blown up by the punch, and its blood spilled all over the ground. The bandit sitting on the horse was also sent flying by the powerful force. Yang Wu picked up the little girl and said softly, "Don't cry. Big Brother will help you find your mother." Not far away, a middle-aged woman with a bamboo basket on her back ran over and anxiously shouted, "Nan Nan! Nan Nan!" Just as Yang Wu's eyes fell on the middle-aged woman, a savage horse fiercely crashed into her like a mountain. Bang! The middle-aged woman's body flew out like a broken zither. Savage Horse was a powerful horse demon king. The middle-aged woman was just an ordinary commoner. How could she withstand its impact? When she fell to the ground, she was already bleeding from her 7 orifices. Her white eyes looked in the direction of the little girl. She died with her eyes wide open. "Mommy! Mommy!" The little girl happened to see this scene. She didn't know that her mother had died. She just felt sorry for her mother who had fallen and bled. She wanted to run over and hug her mother. "Kill all these beasts," Yang Wu ordered with boundless killing intent. "My lord, you can't do that. They are followers of the moon worship demonic sect," Fei Hu said. "If you don't kill them, I'll kill you." Yang Wu looked at Flying Tiger with a murderous gaze. As soon as Flying Tiger met Yang Wu's gaze, his body quivered. He didn't dare to speak any more nonsense and hurriedly charged towards the bandit. White Hair She-Devil, by Luoyun, and Yang Zhenlong had already made their move when Yang Wu gave the order. These bandits weren't strong in their eyes. Killing them was as easy as flipping a hand. There was a bandit leader near Yang Wu. He raised his scimitar and shouted at Yang Wu, "Those who offend the moon worship demonic sect must die." He waved his scimitar at Yang Wu. Before the scimitar could reach Yang Wu's head, a palm energy fell from the top of his head and turned him into a pile of blood. "Kill them all." White Hair She-Devil appeared beside Yang Wu and said indifferently. Yang Wu didn't pay attention to White Hair She-Devil. He held the crying little girl in his arms. He was very sad. He was a filial person. His parents were the people he respected the most. When his parents were humiliated, he was more angry than anyone else. Now, this little girl was only 5 or 6 years old. Seeing her mother die in front of her eyes was a painful thing. He could empathize with her. "Big Brother, I'll take you to see your mother." Yang Wu held the little girl and came in front of the dead woman. The little girl threw herself on the dead woman. She kept crying, wanting to wake her mother up. Unfortunately, she couldn't wake up. "Mother, Nan Nan is scared. Can you wake up?" Mother, do you like Nan Nan? Why are you ignoring Nan Nan? Mother, I won't run around anymore. I'll give you candied haws. Mother, wake up. The little girl couldn't stop crying. She realized that her mother would never wake up. Yang Wu's eyes were wet. He hadn't shed a single tear for a long time. Over the years, he had treated his enemies coldly. He had already seen through life and death. But when he saw the little girl like this, he realized that his heart wasn't cold. That touch of warmth was hidden in the deepest part of his heart. Cries kept coming from all around. The dead woman wasn't the only one. My lord, let's go. This kind of thing happens all the time. Fei Hu came to Yang Wu's side and tried to persuade him. Before he could finish, a palm slapped his face. Slap. Do you think you can treat people's lives like grass? Do you think you can look down on all this indifferently? If you dare to talk nonsense again, I'll kill you right now. Yang Wu glared at Fei Hu and shouted. Fei Hu covered his burning face and didn't say anything else. He muttered in his heart, Motherf *Ker, why are you pretending to be a saint? Offending the moon-worship demonic sect is a dead end. The demonic sect of the moon-worship demonic sect was located in the Dianchi Lake boundary. Bula City was located at the border of Tiansong, close to the Dianchi Lake boundary. It was an extremely chaotic border city. In such a place, there would usually be many forces infiltrating and trying to control the territory here. At this time, a group of people hurried over. Where are the disciples of the moon-worship demonic sect? How dare you behave so atrociously in our city? Get out of my way, you lowly people. Do you want to die? An annoying voice sounded. It was a young man. He was sitting in a sedan carried by 8 people. There were 2 sexy maids on his left and right. The scene was extremely erotic. There were dozens of guards on both sides of the sedan, each holding different weapons. They looked like they were here to help. When the surrounding citizens saw these people, they avoided them as if they were nothing more than bandits. Yang Wu's group was in the middle of the road. The little girl was crying on the woman's body, blocking the path of the young man. The young man's guards looked at them with contempt, then pulled out their weapons and pointed at Yang Wu's group. Are you the disciples of the moon-worship demonic sect? Hong Emo stepped forward and said with a faint smile, We are not. We just killed a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect. You dare to kill a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect? The young man on the sedan shouted. Hee, why wouldn't we? Hong Emo sneered. They were raiders. There was nothing they wouldn't do. He wasn't as cowardly as Fei Hu. He felt that Yang Wu wasn't an idiot. He knew that the young man was from the moon-worship demonic sect, but he still dared to kill a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect. Moreover, he was protected by a saint at all times. His background must be extraordinary. He should be the successor of one of the major forces. Offending the moon-worship demonic sect was nothing. You outsiders, do you want to die? The young man suddenly shouted. What do you mean? Hong Mo didn't understand. What do I mean? You are all going to die with these people of the moon-worship demonic sect. Since you killed them, the masters of the moon-worship demonic sect will kill all of us here. So, you will die with them to quench the anger of the masters of the moon-worship demonic sect. The young man said with a cold expression. The next moment, he waved to the people around him and said, Kill them. His subordinates quickly rushed out and killed Yang Wu and the others. These people really didn't need to distinguish right from wrong. They didn't care if the other party was a good person or a bad person. Everything depended on their definition. How dare you? We even killed a disciple of the moon-worship demonic sect. You are nothing. Hong Mo shouted and spread out his palms. 2 palm prints slapped towards the people who rushed over. Bang! These people were slapped into a bloody pulp. They couldn't withstand a single blow. The young man sitting in the palanquin was terrified. He shouted, Go, go, they are a group of lunatics. The young man was only the young governor of this city. He was used to abusing others. Once he encountered a tough opponent, he didn't dare to fight to the death. He was afraid that he would lose his life here. It's too late to think about leaving now. The Red Devil was not a kind person. He rushed towards the young man. Wherever he passed, people would be slapped to death. These people were too weak. The strongest was only in the heaven realm. How could they compete with him? In an instant, Hong Mo appeared on the young man's palanquin. The young man and the two women beside him screamed in fear. "No! Don't kill me! I am the young governor," the young man said in horror. Hong Mo didn't say anything. He grabbed the young man and rushed back to Yang Wu's position. "My lord, what should we do with him?" Hong Mo asked Yang Wu. "Kill him." Yang Wu didn't even look at the young man and ordered mercilessly. What was the use of people who killed people without knowing what was right and wrong? "You can't kill me. I am the young governor. You will be hunted down." The young man was so scared that he peed his pants. "Young governor, so what if the governor is here?" Hong Mo asked. Just as he was about to kill the young man, a voice suddenly rang out, "Have mercy." A figure flew over with the wind. Behind him were more than 10 people. Every one of them was in the dragon transformation realm. When the young man saw them, he cried, "Father, save me! Father, save me! They want to kill me!" Hong Mo looked at these people without any fear on his face. With this lineup, they could do whatever they wanted in this city. "I am Abdeso, the governor of Beulah City. Greetings, everyone." After the middle-aged man in the lead landed, he bowed slightly to Yang Wu's group. Hong Mo didn't say anything. At this point, it was better to let his lord make the decision. Yang Wu turned to Abdeso and said, "Your son wants to kill us." Chapter 808. Abdeso was a middle-aged man. He wasn't tall, but his skin was dark. He wore a cloth hat and patterned clothes, which were typical of the Tianzong people. "I apologize on his behalf. He's just a spoiled child," Abdeso said sincerely to Yang Wu. Yang Wu saw the sincerity in Abdeso's eyes and waved his hand, signaling Hong Mo to release the young man. The young man scrambled back to Abdeso's side and said, "Father, they want to kill, slap." Before he could finish his sentence, Abdeso slapped him hard across the face, stunning him. "I called you here to kill the people of the moon worship sect. What have you done?" Abdeso reprimanded. After a pause he continued, "These are all our people. They killed our people, so we have to kill them all. These people saved our people, so they are our benefactors. You still dare to use a knife on them. If you weren't my son, I would have killed you right now." Abdeso was very dignified and didn't seem to be faking it. He gave off a righteous feeling. The surrounding people couldn't help but cheer. "City Lord Abdeso is mighty. City Lord Abdeso is mighty." Cheers rang out continuously. It was obvious that Abdeso had a high prestige in the city. Yang Wu ignored this. He turned around and picked up the girl who had fainted from crying. He said to Bai Luoyun, "Find a place to bury her mother." "Yes, master," Bai Luoyun replied and put the corpse away in the cosmos shell. "Let's go." Yang Wu took the girl and called out to his companions behind him. Abdeso spoke again, "Brave warriors, you helped us get rid of the moon worship sect's disciples. You are our benefactors. Please allow me to express our respect on behalf of all the people in the city. Would you like to come to my residence for a gathering?" Yang Wu shook his head. "We were just passing by. We couldn't stand watching them kill people. There's no need for us to do anything else." Abdeso frowned. "Then we won't disturb you anymore. Please be careful of the moon worship sect's revenge." Yang Wu nodded and asked, "Where is the spatial gate in your city?" Abdeso raised his thick eyebrows and said, "The moon worship cult has been in trouble recently, so the space gate is temporarily closed. You can go to another city and borrow a passage." Yang Wu frowned and said, "Can't you make an exception?" "Of course. If they're our friends, we'll definitely make an exception," Abdeso replied. Yang Wu pondered for a moment before saying, "All right, Then let's go to your residence for a gathering. Haha, that's what a good friend should be like. I, Abdeso, welcome you on behalf of my people. Abdeso laughed loudly. Thus, under the lead of Abdeser and the others, they headed to the city lord's mansion. The city lord's mansion was not as luxurious as the mansions in the cities of other domains. It was just a mud house that was slightly larger than the other commoners' mansions. The interior of the house was also simply furnished, making it look slightly shabby. Yang Wu wondered if Abdeso was really the city lord. Why would he live in such a shabby place? Abdeso seemed to have seen through Yang Wu's doubts. He said, "We Tibetans are all simple people. We're not used to being extravagant like you people of the Central Plains, so we're not particular about where we live. Besides, there are frequent storms in our land, so wooden houses can't accommodate people at all." Yang Wu smiled faintly and replied, "I was ignorant." "That's what all outsiders think," Abdeso said. Abdeso said. He clapped his hands and a servant brought in a few jars of wine and roasted mutton. He made an inviting gesture and said, "Come, come, let's drink this wine and eat this meat. We'll be good friends." The people around Abdeso hurriedly filled everyone's large bowls with wine. The fragrance of the wine filled the air, making one's mouth water. Yang Wu did not know what Abdeso was planning, so he clinked glasses with the other party. This was Tian Tsang's green fruit wine, a fruit wine made from dozens of herbs. Not only did it have the flavor of fragrant fruits, but it also had the stimulating taste of strong liquor. The taste was spicy and sour when it entered the throat. It was not something ordinary people could drink. Bai Luoyun almost spat out the mouthful he took, but the white-haired demoness patted him on the back. Only then did he swallow the wine back down. "Wow, this wine, it's so strong," Bai Luoyun said, sticking out his tongue. "Haha, this wine represents our hospitality. If you're not a good friend, we won't let you drink it." Abdeso laughed loudly. He then looked at Yang Wu and said, "Young master, are you still suspecting that I have ulterior motives?" Without waiting for Yang Wu's reply, he continued, "I won't hide it from you. The people under our rule are simple and lovely. They are content with the status quo and have lost the will to improve themselves. Every time the moon worship cult's disciples suddenly attack, few people dare to stand up and resist. I'm very grateful that you were willing to lend a hand. Who would have thought that my unfilial son would dare to make a move against you? He's really stupid." Yang Wu nodded. "So you're treating us warmly in the hopes that more people will resist these villains in the future?" Abdeso gave a thumbs up. "That's right. I want them to become stronger. When it's time to act, there's no need to hesitate. The moon worship cult is nothing. Our Tianli temple is the true representative of this place. They are a cult." "Then when do you plan on letting us leave?" Yang Wu asked. "As long as you promise me not to rob my citizens, I can let you leave." Abdeso glanced at Flying Tiger, Red Devil, and the others. Yang Wu was enlightened. It turned out that Abdeso thought they were raiders, which was why he deliberately made things difficult for them. However, he didn't dare to offend them too much and only wanted to know their movements. "We're not raiders. We're just passing by. City Lord, you're overthinking things," Yang Wu explained. He then pointed at Flying Tiger and Hong Emo, their followers that I took in along the way. "They've already put down their weapons and followed me to become Buddhas. They won't rob without help." "City Lord Abdeso, we are indeed the Lord's followers," Hong Emo echoed. Abdeso was shocked. Flying Tiger, Red Devil, and the other marauders were famous on their side. It was hard for him to believe that this young man had subdued them as his followers. After Abdeso recovered, he raised his bowl and laughed. "Haha, I was overthinking things. Since that's the case, I'll send you off after this meal." Yang Wu had everyone relax. He ate and drank with Abdeso before heading to the space gate and teleporting to the next city. Before Yang Wu's group left, Abdeso gave Yang Wu a lot of green fruit wine and some dried mutton. He also gave Yang Wu a map of the hidden heaven realm. This map would be of great use to Yang Wu. Yang Wu didn't expect that as soon as they left Beulah City, the moon-worship demonic sect would massacre this place. Abdeso died in battle. Even until his death, he didn't tell the demonic sect who killed their disciples. He was a true man. For the next half a month, Yang Wu made his way through different cities, heading towards the westernmost edge of the hidden heaven realm, Sky Domain City. Sky Domain City used to be the second city of the Heavenly Palace, second only to the floating Heavenly Palace City. But after the city was sunk by a Jade Moon Master, it became the largest city in the hidden heaven realm. The city lord of Sky Domain City was also an amazing character. Rumor had it that he was a disciple in name of the Heavenly Palace. There were also rumors that he was a disciple of the Heavenly Palace and a disciple of the Tianli Temple. He was a master of the Heavenly Palace. Even after the destruction of the Heavenly Palace, this city still stood strong. Various factions occupied this place: Tianli Temple, Evil Buddhist Temple, Moon Worship Demonic Sect, Kunlun, 100 Flower Sect, and other major factions had built strongholds here. These factions had a tacit understanding. They didn't cause trouble here and just quietly seized resources. Sky Domain City was close to the largest Sky Domain mountain range. There were countless treasures here, even Xiantian treasures. Someone once obtained a Xiantian snow lotus and broke through to the Saint Realm, reaching the connecting heaven realm. Yang Wu and the others rushed here. They were really close to the ruins of the Heavenly Palace. The weather here was extremely cold. Ordinary people couldn't bear it. Even kings had to wear more clothes. Only warriors of the Heavenly Fish realm could withstand the cold and not be affected. But in a real battle, it was inevitable that they would lose 10 to 20%. Only warriors who cultivated ice water Xian Qi could adapt to the cold. The northwest wind whistled and the cold snow fell. Looking from afar, it was a vast expanse of white, dotted with sparkling and translucent snowflakes. While it was beautiful, it also felt somewhat desolate. This place is really cold. Bai Luoyan sighed. Yes, I think so too. Yang Zhenlong nodded. We've already come to the border of the realm. Of course it's colder. Yang Wu said. He paused and said, in this environment, some powerful warriors can be trained. It's an excellent place to cultivate. Honging said, my lord is right. The further northwest we go, the stronger the Tibetans. A small head poked out of Yang Wu's arms and said weakly, are they bad people? This was the little girl Nan Nan that Yang Wu had picked up. He had wanted to leave her in one of the commoners' homes, but the little girl was too traumatized and only wanted to interact with Yang Wu. Ever since Yang Wu took her with him, she had never left his side. He couldn't bear to leave her and could only take her with him. Besides, he also felt that Nan Nan was very pitiful. She only had one brother, so he might as well raise her as a sister. In the future, it wouldn't be difficult to take her into the Yang family and raise her. Honging didn't know how to respond to her question. White-haired Demoness said, there are good people and bad people. When you grow up in the future, you'll be able to distinguish who is good and who is bad. I don't want to be a bad person. I want to be a good person. I want to kill all the bad people and avenge my mother. The little girl said with a different look in her eyes from her peers. This was the vow of the future Demoness. Chapter 809. Heaven Domain City, a giant city covered in white. Although this place wasn't as old as War God City, it was still one of the few famous cities in the world. Together with White Mountain City, this place was known as the Medicine Capital City. This meant that there were countless herbs in this city. They were all picked from the Heaven Domain mountain range. There were countless ordinary herbs and spirit medicines. Just by digging into the old forest, one would be able to find spirit medicines of extraordinary value. King medicines and heaven medicines were also very common. Little sacred medicines and saint medicines could also be found. It was because of this that there were many factions in Heaven Domain Snow City. They formed teams and entered Heaven Domain City to search for herbs or buy them for a long time. The prices here were much cheaper than other places. After Yang Wu's group entered the city, they looked at the various herbs on the left and right sides of the street. Their eyes lit up. Many herbs that were rarely seen in other places seemed to be common here. Lord, this place has the water scale grass that my water clan needs the most. Bai Luoyun pointed at the herbs hanging in a shop and called out in surprise. On the other side, Yang Zhenlong was also drooling as he said, I think I saw the dragon tongue grass. I really want to eat it. Yang Wu ignored them and rubbed Nanan's head as he said, Nan, what do you want to eat? I want to eat roasted sweet potatoes. Little Nan said weakly. All right, big brother will buy it for you. Yang Wu said dotingly. Very quickly, he saw a vendor selling roasted sweet potatoes. He bought a large sweet potato for little Nan and ate one himself. He said to the others, Do you guys want some? It's very fragrant. In this kind of cold place, eating a hot roasted sweet potato was very comfortable. This was something that commoners ate, so the others weren't interested. However, the white-haired demoness also asked for one. She gently peeled it and ate it. Her beautiful eyes flashed with a trace of nostalgia. Once upon a time, she had also eaten roasted sweet potatoes like little Nan. Yang Wu and his group found a luxurious hotel to stay in. He handed a universe ring to white-haired demoness and said, Take them out to purchase a batch of medicinal herbs. I've already made a list. As for the rest that aren't listed, if you see any suitable ones, you can buy them together. If you don't have enough Xian spirit stones, you can use medicinal pills to exchange. White-haired demoness nodded and brought the others out to purchase herbs. Yang Wu released little Nan and stroked her head, saying, You'll have a hard time with your big brother in the future. Are you scared? Little Nan blinked her big eyes and said, Don't be afraid, big brother is a good person. It's hard to say if my brother is a good person, but he won't hurt little Nan. Yang Wu laughed. He paused for a moment and said, It's cold here. Your small body can't stand it. Brother wants you to practice martial arts. It can strengthen your body and you won't be bullied in the future. What do you think? Okay, I'll practice martial arts. I won't be bullied in the future. Little Nan nodded firmly. She paused for a moment and added, I won't let bad people bully Big Brother either. Haha, that's the best. Then Big Brother will make some medicinal liquid for you to cleanse your body. That way, you'll be able to cultivate with twice the result with half the effort. I'll listen to Big Brother. The medicinal liquid that Yang Wu made was of extraordinary value. It was very effective for children. He was prepared to lay the best foundation for little Nan and teach her the cultivation method of the extreme circulatory cycle. Whether she could succeed or not depended on her perseverance and talent. Yang Wu had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm and was qualified to be a teacher. He first examined little Nanan's muscles and bones and found that her body was very good. Her muscles and bones were malleable. As for her talent, he couldn't find it for the time being. Based on his feelings, she was a very intelligent child. She had seen her mother die in front of her with her own eyes. Her spirit seemed to have been enlightened. Perhaps she already had a special talent, but there was no way to find it for the time being. After Yang Wu boiled the medicinal liquid, he put little Nan in it. The power of the medicinal liquid was relatively mild. After soaking in it 7 times, it could build the foundation of her body. When she cultivated her strength, she would be faster than others. Yang Wu thought to himself, if only little He was here. She could teach little Nan well. Thinking about it, he hadn't seen little He for nearly a year. He didn't know where it had been transmitted to. It should not have been stewed by others. After wandering around outside for a day, white-haired demoness and the others finally returned to the restaurant again. Yang Wu took the ring of universe she gave him and found a large number of herbs. Each of them was extremely strong, which was exactly what he needed to refine elixirs. As expected of the medicine capital, You can really find all kinds of herbs. Yang Wu sighed. Yes, yes. We even saw some saint medicines. It's a pity we can't trade for them for now. Bai Luoyun nodded. There are some saint medicines that Aunt Yun Qi wants. Yang Zhenlong said from the side. Don't speak nonsense. White-haired demoness glared at Yang Zhenlong and said. I'm not speaking nonsense. Yang Zhenlong weakly replied. Yang Wu said, who wouldn't be moved by a saint object? We can't trade for it for now, but that doesn't mean we can't trade for it in the future. In the future, there will be a lot of people coming to our door. Don't worry. Following that, he gave them a few more missions. He wanted them to find out the situation of the Heaven Domain mountain range in 3 days and find out where the Heavenly Palace ruins were. After 3 days, he would enter the Heaven Domain mountain range. Following that, he went to the restaurant and asked for a closed-door cultivation room. He prepared to refine a batch of elixirs for the journey. In this kind of large city, many restaurants opened up closed-door cultivation rooms for cultivators to cultivate. The Heaven Realm closed-door cultivation room is 100 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The Dragon Transformation Realm closed-door cultivation room is 1,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The Saint Realm closed-door cultivation room is 10,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. Which closed-door cultivation room would you like to choose? The restaurant's waiter introduced. When Yang Wu heard this price, his face twitched slightly. Even though he had a lot of wealth, he still felt that this price was abnormally high. Ordinary people couldn't afford it at all. However, since they were doing business, they had to make a profit. Moreover, they even had a Saint Realm closed-door cultivation room. It was enough to show how powerful the force behind this restaurant was. Is there a closed-door cultivation room for alchemists? Yang Wu asked. Yes. The Heaven Alchemist's closed-door cultivation room is 500 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The Little Saint Alchemist's closed-door cultivation room is 3,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones per day. The waiter introduced again. The price is so high. It can't be helped. Honorable alchemists are so rich that they take advantage of others. Moreover, the environment they need is better. It's normal for us to charge a little more. Alright, open a Little Saint Alchemist's closed-door cultivation room for me. I need to use it for 2 days. Young master, are you sure you want to open a Little Saint Alchemist's closed-door cultivation room? Take the 6,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones. Alright, I'll get it done for you right away. The 6,000 high-grade Xian spirit stones that Yang Wu paid were very valuable. When he stepped into the closed-door cultivation room, he felt that the Xian Qi of heaven and earth here was much denser than outside. Moreover, it was completely isolated from the outside world. There was a high-grade alchemy cauldron and a formation that blocked out heavenly lightning. It was an excellent alchemy room. Yang Wu said to himself in satisfaction, how thoughtful. Yang Wu didn't want to stay here for too long. He quickly entered a state of alchemy. He needed different pills to deal with different emergencies. He also planned to use the pills to trade for higher-grade items. Moreover, he also had to consider the needs of his followers. Bai Luoyun and Yang Zhenlong had to be prepared to become small saints at any time. The most important thing was to help white-haired demoness break through to the Star Rune realm. He had some pills that could help white-haired demoness refine her body and strengthen her body. Also, her soul needed to be strengthened before she could break through to the Star Rune realm. In addition, he would inevitably encounter some obstacles after entering the Heaven Domain mountain range. He definitely didn't believe that Cheap Master would let him reach the Heavenly Palace ruins so easily. 2 days was enough for Yang Wu to refine a batch of high-grade pills. 2 days later, he came out of closed-door cultivation and heard the news from Flying Tiger, Hong Mo, Hong Ying, and the others. It was suspected that a Xiantian cardinal treasure had appeared in the depths of the Heaven Domain mountain range. Innate treasures were divine items that grew from the heavens. They were even stronger than ordinary saint weapons. Even the most powerful people would covet them. The location where the innate treasures appeared seemed to be the Heavenly Palace ruins. There were remnants of the Heavenly Palace's formations there. It was incomparably dangerous. Even saints could die there. Even the most powerful people wouldn't be able to break through it easily. That place was incomparably strange. The terrifying killing formation targeted saints and not those below the saint realm. It was unknown whether it was controlled by someone or caused by the appearance of an innate treasure. Groups and groups of people quickly rushed there. Currently, the innate treasures hadn't been found, but there were many bad news. Many people had died in the Heaven Domain mountain range. It had already become the territory of the Icemen, snow wolves, and ice bears. There were also all kinds of fierce beasts. If one rashly entered, they would become their enemy. Currently, there were already people in the city calling for the younger generation of the major powers to join forces and enter together. They believed that this was a sign that the Heavenly Palace ruins were about to open. Perhaps they could use this opportunity to find the Heavenly Palace ruins and obtain the shocking inheritance. Although the Heavenly Palace was destroyed, its prestige still remained. The destruction of the Heavenly Palace was a mystery. There were many different theories, but no one had come to a final conclusion. No one had found the true inheritance of the Heavenly Palace. Due to the appearance of connate supreme treasures and the preparation of the Heavenly Palace ruins, a large number of forces were attracted to explore. After Yang Wu heard this news, he felt that his whole person was not good. He'd planned to keep a low profile and search for the Heavenly Palace ruins, but the sudden news made it clear that it wouldn't be easy to find the Heavenly Palace ruins. This can't be a smokescreen made by cheap master, right? Yang Wu muttered to himself. My lord, I heard that the Tianli Temple, Longevity Hall, Purple Firmament Hall, and Kunlun have all sent their geniuses here. There are people vying for the position of young leader. I think the position belongs to you, my lord. Hong Mo flattered. Purple Firmament Hall. Chapter 810. Sky Domain City. It was livelier than usual these days. The people coming and going added warmth to the cold city. Many valiant troops appeared one after another from the space gate. Some rode ancient war chariots, some rode shuttles, and some rode powerful war horses. Most of these people were the saints, saintesses, and young masters of the younger generation. They were all top prodigies who had the potential to become saint. They were all followed by powerful guardians. These prodigies of the younger generation would participate in the Heavenly Dragon and Heavenly Phoenix rankings soon. When they heard that a connate cardinal treasure had appeared, they all rushed over to see if they had the opportunity to obtain it. Once they obtained a connate cardinal treasure, they would definitely be the top of the Dragon and Phoenix rankings. These peerless prodigies came from various major factions. They cultivated ancient techniques and had the best battle constitutions. At a young age, they had already surpassed their peers and caught up with their seniors. They also had the potential to quickly surpass them. All the major factions and prodigies formed teams to go to the depths of the Sky Domain mountain range together to search for the connate cardinal treasure. It would be best if they could find the Heavenly Palace ruins and obtain more opportunities. The Buddha of Tianli Temple appeared and taught the prodigies. After listening to his teachings, many prodigies voluntarily shaved their heads and became his followers. The evil Buddha of Evil Buddha Temple also appeared and taught the same thing. Many prodigies of other races also became his followers. The young Hall King of Immortal Palace came with great momentum. Naturally, many prodigies were willing to form a team with him. The Saintess of Purple Cloud Palace was outstanding and never lacked powerful followers. These prodigies formed their own teams and formed several very powerful factions. No one was willing to submit to anyone. On this day, they decided to choose 3 leaders to lead them to the Sky Domain mountain range. The selection of leaders this time was not only a competition of the factions behind each prodigy, but also a competition of their combat power and leadership ability. If they couldn't convince them, how could they command them? at the Saint Dojo in the center of Sky Domain City. This was the Saint Dojo set up by the Sky Domain. It was protected by a formation. Even if saints fought fiercely here, they wouldn't be able to damage the dojo. Many prodigies gathered here. In addition to each prodigy standing proudly, there were many followers. At a glance, there were at least 10 to 20,000 people. With such momentum, it was clear that they attached great importance to this matter. After all, apart from these young geniuses, there were many other powerful forces, itinerant cultivators, and alien races who would fight for the Khanate cardinal treasures. Amitabha, my Tianli temple is the host, so I should lead the way. I am willing to accept the position of leader. A young monk with a dignified appearance and an awe-inspiring Buddhist energy placed his palms together and said. His voice was majestic and ethereal in the sacred Tao ground. Everyone could see it. It was as if they were watching a young bodhisattva discussing scriptures with the other Buddhas. The formless Buddha chi emitted was torturous. Suddenly, another Buddhist voice rang out. My Buddha's teachings are boundless and can guide all living things. I am willing to lead you through all kinds of demonic obstacles and see the Khanate treasure. This Buddhist voice was completely different from the voice of the Arhat from before. This voice was filled with a domineering aura, without any hint of modesty. A ferocious Buddha image appeared in the sky. It did not have the slightest bit of Buddhist aura. It was more like a demon, an evil creature. The two bodhisattvas sat cross-legged in opposite directions. They didn't need any external help to sit cross-legged in the air. This ability wasn't something that just anyone could have. There were many people following the two bodhisattvas. Many of them were prodigies who had just shaved their heads. They also had some followers following them. The Arhat of Tianli Temple closed his eyes and chanted. Buddhist talismans flew into the air. Each talisman contained extraordinary power and suppressed the Arhat of Evil Buddha Temple. Evil Arhat had a cold smile on his face. He pinched his lotus fingers and Buddhist talismans flew out from his fingers. Each talisman carried a trace of dark gray color, representing the evil Buddhist chi. They floated in the air. The Arhat of Tianli Temple chanted Buddhist scriptures that intertwined with each other. In an instant, a series of explosions rang out. Bang bang! These two bodhisattvas were fighting from afar. Both of them wanted to be the leader. The tolerance of a monk was nowhere to be seen. Demon subduing scripture. Blue Lotus seal. A Buddhist battle wasn't like other battles that used brute force. Instead, it depended on whose Buddhist power was stronger and whose will was firmer. The one who could suppress the other would win. In the sacred Tao field, the sky was filled with Buddha talismans. One could faintly see two Buddha statues with completely different auras clashing. After half a day, Evil Fozi retracted his aura and said faintly, I'll let you move aside so that we won't delay the journey even if we fight for 7 days and 7 nights. Everyone was watching. Indeed, no one thought that Evil Arhat had lost. No one thought that Tian Arhat had won either. It was just as Evil Arhat had said. If they continued to fight like this, they would only delay the journey. Tian Arhat put his palms together and said solemnly, If you don't fight, then fight. If you don't fight, then don't fight. A peerless prodigy stood up and said, Tian Arhat will take the leader's seat. I'm sure no one has any objections. I will take the second seat. This peerless genius was clad in a suit of armor with a moon seal on it. A curved blade hung on his back. His eyes were filled with arrogance as if he was looking down on all the heroes. This person was Hong Zheng, the holy son of the moon worship demonic sect. The moon worship demonic sect has crossed the line. How dare they be so arrogant? I'm not convinced. A young man in blue stood up and said. Having said that, he turned into a blue flood dragon and charged toward Hong Zheng, the holy son of the moon worship demonic sect. Hong Zheng sneered, I'll take your dog head with one slash. A shadow of moonlight floated, and the saber chi was faintly discernible. A bloody head was cut off. Who else wants to overestimate themselves? The holy prince of the moon-worship demonic sect spoke as if he had done something insignificant. I, the sacred flame sect, will challenge you. Infun, the holy prince of the sacred flame sect, shouted. Infun's strength was much stronger than when he was in the broken space. The power he erupted with was quite strong. He fought fiercely with the holy prince of the moon-worship demonic sect. At this time, Kunlun's holy prince Kuan stood up and waved his palm leaf fan at the two fighting. Whoosh! A terrifying wind blew, and the power of the Xiantian realm swept in all directions. The other two holy princes were sent flying. I, Kunlun, will take the leader's seat, Kuan Xian announced domineeringly. This was the holy prince who had defeated Yang Wu before. In less than a year, he had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm and was only a step away from the dragon transformation realm. Brother Kuan Xian, I'll see if your palm leaf fan is really invincible. A peerless prodigy roared and charged towards Kuan Xian. In addition, other prodigies took the opportunity to rush out. They had begun to fight for the leader's seat, so they had to suppress the other prodigies and make them submit. Waves of explosive power rang out in the sacred training ground. Many prodigies used their strongest power from the beginning to suppress the other prodigies. Kuan Xian had a Xiantian item, and his palm leaf fan was invincible. Every time he waved his fan, a prodigy would be sent flying. On the other side, the young Hall King also finally appeared. As the young Hall King of the Longevity Hall, he was still very young, but his cultivation talent was extremely terrifying. He had already reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm. He had jumped several levels in a year. As expected of someone with outstanding cultivation talent. With his trump card, even a dragon transformation realm elite would not be his match. Sure enough, as soon as he entered the arena, he swept away a group of opponents. He looked like he had suppressed his peers. Most of these prodigies were around 30 years old. There was no one over 40 years old. They were all in the dragon transformation realm and were preparing to break through. Only by breaking through to the dragon transformation realm would they be qualified to participate in the Dragon Phoenix ranking battle. This trip to the Sky Domain mountain range was the best opportunity for them. The Battle Tribe's prodigies did not participate in this battle. The Battle Tribe guarded the central plains and suppressed a region to stop the demons from invading. They all had a unique advantage. They had just completed the trip to the God of War Pagoda and were all consolidating their strength. They did not participate in the battle between the prodigies of the major factions. If their prodigies participated, the battle would be even more intense. As many prodigies were killed, many prodigies consciously withdrew from the battlefield. The number of people gradually decreased. The young Hall King and Kuan Xian became the hot candidates for the second and third leader positions. At that moment, Lei Shuyang from the Purple Firmament Palace wielded the small sacred lightning hammer and attacked the young Hall King. He was much more mature than before. Without saying a word, he raised the small sacred thunder hammer and attacked continuously. The power of the hammer continued to fall, and the boundless lightning was controlled by him. His battle prowess had reached the dragon transformation realm. After being defeated in the broken space, he had returned to the Purple Firmament Palace and cultivated with all his might. The heavenly lightning physique displayed its terrifying talent. He had reached the peak of the heavenly fish realm and was only one step away from successfully becoming a dragon transformation realm elite. He had challenged the young Hall King to make an oath. He had returned with a strong momentum. He would wash away the shame of his defeat one by one. Yang Wu, wait for me to defeat the young Hall King first. I will find you and trample you under my feet. Lei Shuyang shouted in his heart. The battle between Lei Shuyang and the young Hall King was very exciting. In the end, the young Hall King even released his sword Pagoda, but it was almost destroyed by Lei Shuyang's small sacred lightning hammer. Both of them were injured. Lei Shuyang had proven himself in this battle. Kuan Xian took advantage of the situation and swept the two of them out of the battlefield. The position of leader was within his reach. At this moment, two peerless girls entered the battlefield. One girl had purple hair and a perfect face that made people feel suffocated. Her petite figure was covered in a purple dress, and she was full of temptation. She was a fairy-like girl. The other girl was dressed in black and had a demonic butterfly hair accessory in her hair. Her eyes were filled with a mesmerizing light, and her bare feet were enough to make people drool. The saint of the purple firmament palace. The saint of the sky severing sect.